What's happening, Xbox community? It is your brother Sega Man back with another Xbox of Outlaws podcast. And I got my brother ODT Reaper with me. Just got done doing a marathon podcast with our brother Sega Forever. And I also have my brother DJX Tuckmaster with me. And I did invite brother Hebot, which might come in later. If Unlimited wants to come in, he'll join the chat. I'll ask him if he wants to come in. I sent one to Zinc. And our first lady of chat, Dea, if she can graciously come and join us, if she has time, that's fine. I sent her a link. So we'll see where it goes from here. What's up, everybody? We are back. How you doing, Craig Simmons TV, man? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Bob Matt, thanks for coming, man. I really appreciate it. Gaming since 1980. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. So on that note, let me introduce my panel. First of all, ODT Reaper, man. What's up, brother? How are you, man? And tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, you can always find me in a dialysis chair.
No. This is our brother T Reaper, man. He's one of the first. He's one of the only guys I ever known that can run through games like that and beat it in one day, man. So I'm glad to have T Reaper with us. Also, we got our brother DJ X Tuckmaster. Tuck, hey brother, how you doing? How you feeling? Tell the Xbox community where they can find you.
Hey everybody, y'all know where y'all can reach me at. Y'all can reach me with the best group of guys that's in our podcast, okay? So let's get this shit to rolling.
All right, man. So let's give a big shout out to the chat. Got 6 in here watching the Outlaws of Xbox podcast already. Got what's his name? Bob? Is it Bob?
Bob MCP.
Bob MCP in the building. Craig Simmons TV, gaming since 1980. What's up, guys? And then we got Bob MCP says what that Jack off Keeley. Yeah, man. That I got a trademark. I got a trademark at Big Bob. You know, he is, and we're gonna be talking about our main man today, man. We're gonna be talking about Big Dust-Off Dustin Legary, bro. We're gonna be talking about him. We're gonna just be talking about everything good and what's going on for Xmas, for Xbox, guys. We're eating good over here. It's good to see everybody in here, man. So first off, guys, let me ask my panel real quick. Tuck, how was your Thanksgiving, man?
Man, it was great, man. Just being with family, being with friends.
Nice. What's up,
That was the whole party thing of the holiday.
Nice, nice.
And that's really basically about it, man. Spend a little time with my son.
Uh-huh.
And his girlfriend. And really, that's about it, man. But we had a good night. We had a good day.
Nice, man. Nice. Oh, let me ask you this too, and I'm gonna ask T Reaper also, my brother T. Tuck, for Black Friday, there was a lot of Black Friday sales that went on. I had mixed reviews from people. People told me that they didn't think it was too good on the Xbox store. There were people that told me they went out. It was okay. It wasn't that bad. You know, with buying games and things for sales at like GameStop, different places like that. Tuck, have you experienced any of that, or have you took advantage of any Black Friday sales?
I really didn't take any advantage of any Black Friday sales. I mean, there's a couple games like that, but not really. I mean, the Assassin's Creed Mirage, that was good. I mean, that was like $39. So.
Oh, really?
I think that was a win-win for me. Outside of that, I really didn't have that much to really get. I mean, I'm waiting for. I mean, I already got RoboCop, and I haven't played it yet, but I got it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good game and everything.
That's what I'm hearing, Tuck.
I just haven't played it yet, but
yeah.
Other than that, man, yeah, I mean, you could say that you've been a little disappointed this year because you didn't know they have a lot of games on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a whole nother month to go because you know they're gonna have more sales in December.
Yeah, of course.
Have more sales in December.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing you. I think you're right. I think you're right, Tuck. I think before Christmas, like I'll say like the week before Christmas, into Christmas, Tuck, I think they're like you said, they're gonna have more crazy sales. And let's not forget about was it Cyber Monday? You know,
right.
Different things like that. So you're right, Tuck. I can agree on that. And our brother Craig Simmons TV said he just picked up 2 more Xbox Series X's.
Oh, damn. Nice.
That's what's up, Craig. That's what's
Pick
up.
up?
Craig Simmons TV, our brother, said he just picked up 2 more Xbox Series X's. That's what's up, man.
So
That's
how many?
awesome.
So Edwin, how many you got overall, man? Because I got 2 myself.
I think Craig got 3. I'm gonna say 3 Series X's. I think he has
Well,
one.
I got 2 in the house, and I bought my son one. So
Oh, you did?
yeah, I bought
Okay.
my son. Yeah, I bought him one a while back. So
Oh, you did? All right. You know what I'm thinking about doing, Tuck? I'm thinking about getting a Series S. You know, just to keep in another room in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I have a
Oh, yeah.
1X. I have a
Right.
1X, Tuck, but I'm thinking about getting a Series S. I'm actually thinking about buying the one off of my son. You know, give him some money, then that way I don't have to because he got 2. So I'm definitely thinking about doing that. You know, but what about you, T? Did you take advantage, brother, of the Black Friday sale, man? Some people have mixed reviews, man. They say that, well, the Xbox store wasn't really that great of sales. But then when people said they went out, they find a little bit more better sales with physical games and different things like that. T, what do you think, man?
Well, I got myself a new winter's jacket today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice, bro. Nice. What kind is it?
It's a
Like
winter's jacket. It's
like
a winter's jacket.
Okay. All
It's a
right. Cool.
winter's jacket.
Hey, look, it don't have to be gaming. It could be anything. Because I mean, there was a lot of sales out there, not just.
I also got myself my new Battlestar Galactica series, so I'm kind of happy about that. So
nice.
I got an entire series all on 175 purchase, and I was kind of happy. So, and then I had another $10 left over, so I used it on Dungeons and Dragons, and that's what I was watching earlier.
You bought Dungeons and Dragons. It was a movie?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool, man. Hey. That's cool. And you got how many did you get in points? What was it?
5,500.
Damn. That's pretty damn good.
And I do have 634 games in my library.
Oh, how much you got?
634.
Doing good there, man. How many you got, Tuck?
Shit, not many as him.
You know how many I got, Tuck?
How many?
1,200 something.
Okay, Sega Man beats me. That's fine.
Games in your portfolio? No, y'all beat me by milestone.
Yeah, I knew one of you would beat me. I just didn't know which one would be. I want to know how much T-Bot's got.
You know, here's the thing, T, and
so are these games that y'all bought, or these games that y'all get on the Game Pass?
No, these are games that I bought, Tuck.
Yeah, these are games that I have.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what it said in my library. That when I want to download something, it said 604.
See, I might have maybe 250 games I bought.
What's up, Anthony Chipmunk, aka Tony? Well, Craig Simmons TV said, Tuck, he just said now he says now I have 3 Xbox Series. I think he says 3 Xbox Series X's, 1 I think Xbox Series S, 1 Xbox One X, 2 Xbox One S's. I think if I read that right. Did I read that right, T Reaper?
You're reading it right.
I think I read that right. So that's how many Xbox.
PS5 and might get a PS5 Slim is what TV said.
Yeah, and then Craig said I also got 1 PS5, might get another PS5 Slim. So yeah, Craig got a lot of systems, man. He got a lot of Xboxes.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. Damn.
You know who got a lot too? Is it what's his name? Oh man, he ain't in there. He'll be in here later. He got a lot too. I can't remember. I think he got a lot. He'll be in here. I forgot the brother's name, but he'll probably come and join, man. He'll probably come and join here in a little while. But yeah, guys, hey, everybody in the chat, let brother Sega Man know what y'all get for did you guys go out and get some good stuff for Black Friday? Let me know. Like Gaming Since 1980 said, I bought the Callisto Protocol for $12. And it's not worth more to be honest. And I bought Mortal Kombat 1 for $44. Not bad, considering the fact that MK1 cost $70. Good deal, Gaming Since 1980. That's pretty sweet, man. Pretty sweet. The Those are games I want. You know what I want, Tuck? I want RoboCop, and I do want to get Mortal Kombat 1. So these are games I have on my radar to get around Christmas or after. You know what I mean? So there's a few games I want to get physical, and I think Mortal Kombat is one, and definitely RoboCop, because I grew up during those days. So I like RoboCop, and I'm hearing from everybody. He bought everybody. It's a great game. So thinking about getting that, this upcoming this Christmas, man. So Tuck and T, let's get the show rolling, man. Now T Reaper told me behind the Xbox curtain that he wants to talk about everybody's person that they love the most, Dustin Legary, man. So let's just get this shit rolling. Now, what is going on, guys, with Dustin Legary? I heard little itsy bitsy things, but what's this guy? What's he saying now, T? What's this guy doing now, man? He never stopped. What is he doing now in the gaming community, man?
Okay, well, I'm gonna give Mr. Lee on New Legal a shout out.
Go ahead
and tell everybody what his post said today on Twitter. It said that let's talk about the Xbox tax evidence on Dustin's channel, and it circled a comment that said "Control for IGN in its full glory." It got 230 likes so far, and it has New Legal and several others attached to it. But it's all about Dustin. And the thing is IGN is getting taxed. And I'm like, that's kind of cool and all, but Dustin can't act neutral no more. So you can't do that. So it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So and I personally think that's what he's trying to do, is he's truly trying to act neutral. He just posted another 2 videos today. And I was like, are you kidding me? But I watched them anyway. So I was like, they weren't a podcast like he did yesterday. So as long as it wasn't a podcast talking about stuff, I think he's doing okay. But that guy was trying evidence that he finally did touch on Sony losing $709 billion.
Wow.
That was the first one that I watched. And he talked about that and how Sony is gonna go under because Xbox is in second place and Sony is below them, and that is how it goes.
That's another thing that we need to get into, T Reaper and Tuck, and I want Tuck's opinion on that. And I'm also hearing from the grapevine out here in these Xbox streets, is Sony getting sued?
Yeah, they are.
Wow. Yep. And I heard this one is serious. So what's going on with this, Tuck?
And it's legitimate too, and it's come from the people who gave Xbox all kind of hell from overseas, the CMA. And it's coming straight from them. And what's going on is that my understanding is that what's going on overseas is that people want to buy games, but I think they're saying that the PlayStation is doing some kind of stuff that they can't, that the only thing that they can do, if they want to buy a game, they got to buy, if they want to buy a game digital, they got to buy it from them.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in other words, that's my understanding of it. That because that's overseas, that's over there, they doing any, they can do what they try and want to do overseas. They can't do that shit over here.
Yeah.
But overseas they might can do it, but the CMA is what I hear is that the CMA is a legitimate lawsuit. It's a legitimate lawsuit, y'all. The only thing I can say is that Sony's getting sued for what 8.8 billion. Shit, that ain't no chump change. So, we'll see. It's a legitimate lawsuit, and the CMA they letting the lawsuit go through.
Man, so I'm guessing this one is real serious, huh, Tuck?
Yeah, people getting tired of People getting tired of Sony's bullshit, man. They really are.
They said that Sony's gonna go bankrupt by 2024.
Jeez.
They could.
Wow. Wow, guys, you know what? I kind of hinted on something like that. You know what happened to my precious Sega? They went belly up, and I honestly I didn't think it would be this soon, T. But if that's true, in 2024, that's going to be a not a good day for the Sony fans, man, and the ponies. I mean, I don't
Who
think
might
so.
get a wipeout? That might be, Judgment Day. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Google
because coming
poll
to find
says,
out, what I'm hearing is that they got a lot of. They said they got a lot of Sony PlayStation in their warehouse,
"Oh, for real?
and that would go to show you it's just the fact that yes, their consoles might be selling good, but they ain't making a profit off them damn consoles. It at least
Yeah,
take what 3 years to make a profit off a console, and we just now getting out of this damn pandemic, and people just think that all of a sudden they're just making money all of a sudden. They not making money. They taking a loss of every damn console sale, every damn console that they do. They're making a loss.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, yes, if they selling good, fine, but they taking a loss off of them. I mean,
Hmm.
that's the reason why I like what Microsoft is doing, because of the fact that Microsoft is not worried about console sales. They worry about everybody getting to play a game with
Yeah,
the software and all that. And everybody knows software. That's where it's at.
right, right.
So and then you hear about this damn portal that they said is doing good and all that stuff, which I don't. People want to talk about that like a grain of salt, but I still don't think that's going to do all that great.
Well, Tuck, I've been seeing a lot of stuff pop up on that new uh PlayStation handheld, and the people that have it, they're giving bad reviews. They said they don't like it. That you can't take it out, out of the house and everything. From what I'm hearing about, a lot of people that haven't and reviewed it or have it said that they don't know why they did this, and that it's a failure. That's what I'm hearing, and that's not me damage controlling. I'm actually seeing this on YouTube, how they don't like it, that you can't take it out like you take out a Nintendo Switch or anything like that. Like you can't take it out. So I'm hearing bad things about it. I'm not hearing things. I'm hearing it's dead and everything. You know what I mean? I mean,
And then,
that's what I'm hearing.
and then another what I'm hearing about it, that your internet speed need to be decent.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a weak ass internet, and you don't need to have a weak ass Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah.
Now I did hear that you can hook it up to your to what you call that up on your phone.
What?
What they call it on your phone when you hook it up to your phone? Use it as a spotter or something like that.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that, man.
What is that, Team Reaper? What I'm trying to say, team?
What?
What is it that you do when you want to hook something up to your phone to get internet connection?
You hardwire it.
He's saying you can hook that portal thing or whatever up to the phone. I don't know.
You can hook it. You can hook it up to I forgot what it's called. Help me, fellas, in the chat.
You can
group.
hardwire the portal to your phone.
I mean, you can a hotspot.
Hotspot. That
Hotspot?
has to do with
Okay.
connection, dude. That doesn't have to do with device to device.
Well, they said that you can hook it up to the hotspot and it works fine, but you know how the media is. The media will just kind of just blow things up anyway. So you know how that goes. I don't know how the thing gonna do, but all I know is that the VR ain't selling worth shit. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, man. Let me read some of the chat, man. Bob says while Sony got sued, PS fanboys are talking about console sales. Google poll said it says so sad for Sony. Face green, smelling face green, smiling face green. Yeah, man, it's not looking good, man. The PS fanboys will explode. Google says rumors are they over what? Over something? Can't see it.
Over continued console sales by over
10 million. Jez or whatever. I can't stand that dude. And they might be counting PS Portal sales as a console sale. So dirty. So what he's saying, I think they're counting that on top of the PS5 sales, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, this is what makes it so bad. My friend, my friend at my job, he gonna turn and give me this post. He said, he said a Portal's outselling the Xbox Series X. I
What?
said, dude, when's the last
What?
time Spain? Yeah, I mean, he always
Okay.
talking about Spain. I said, dude, when? I said, you think I give a care about what's happening over there in Spain? Now, don't get that. Now, these are just fucking numbers. I said, you don't know how many they sold over there. And like my
Yeah.
wife always have said, you can be selling every damn thing all damn day. But if you
Yeah.
ain't making a damn profit, you ain't making no money.
That's right. What's the use?
So, I mean, I don't know, man. These clowns, man, these Sony clowns, man, they something else, man. They something else.
And then Bob said the actual console sales is 20 million, I guess he's saying, to 30 million, while the 15 million are sitting in on the wet in the warehouse. Yeah. Yeah, and then gaming since 1980 said the PS Portal is dead on arrival, and they said the Wii U was bad. Yeah, right.
Yep.
What's up, Rain? How you doing, brother? Appreciate all y'all coming in and joining us, man. Today, just chopping up some game on the podcast. We got my brother Rain G, 4 in the house, Toolman 55, gaming since 1980. Anthony, our brother Anthony Chipmunk is in the building also. We got Zink in the building. And Zink might not be able to join, but he will be in the chat. So thank you for holding the chat down, brother Zink. Yeah, man, it's good to see everybody here rocking out with us, man. It's awesome, man. But we're just talking about that. And Dustin, man, what do you think about now, Tuck? I want your opinion on Dustin Laguerre, man. What's your opinion on him, man? He's damn controlling, brother.
Man, I ain't listen to Dustin. Dustin's a clown. I don't even listen to that clown. I don't listen to that clown. I mean, he's wishy-washy. He goes this way, he goes that way. I don't know which way he's going, but what I'm hearing is that he did not say anything about a tax or anything like that. He tried to make himself look good. I don't know what the heck he's doing, but the thing about it is, let's just be honest. I mean, let's just be honest about the whole damn thing with the media. The media is not going to give Microsoft a fair handshake no matter what. I don't give a good. Nobody say they just not.
Yeah.
And it don't have nothing. I mean, it could have something to do with him, or it could not have anything to do with him. But as long as the media is out there and they always want to bash Microsoft and all that stuff, they can bash all they want to. We know who they're working for.
Yeah.
We know they work for Sony. So whatever Sony's going to do, whatever Sony going to give them, they're going to do whatever Sony going to tell them to do.
Yeah.
And that's all it is to it. But nah, man, that's a joke. That's a joke. The whole damn media, some of the media websites, they ain't never jokes and all that stuff. So they do anything to bring up anything, but they don't never ever Toretto want to bring up anything with numbers with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because nobody's not even playing that damn game. Nobody's not even talking about it. But they constantly always want to mention Starfield.
Oh yeah, because they're hating, man. They're still hating on that. They're still hating. They're green with envy because we have the best blockbuster game ever for this generation, which is Starfield, man. And they're just hating, Tuck. They're just hating, man. And I'm gonna tell you something real quick. I'm gonna tell you and T Reaper this. I went shopping on the North Shore of Pittsburgh to a GameStop. I haven't been in a GameStop in a long time. And I was in there, and I actually witnessed. I bought something for my son for Christmas, but there were two people in there. It was this white younger girl and older white dude, and they bought PS5s. But here's the thing: I listened to them talking to the dude at GameStop. He said, "Do you want the Spider-Man bundle, or do you want the Call of Duty bundle?" And the one they both bought was the Call of Duty bundle. They're not even worried about the Spider-Man bundle. They wanted the PS5. Call of Duty bundle. And I'm thinking in my mind, hey, it's good you're buying it because while you're buying that, Microsoft gets that money.
Yeah.
That Call of Duty in there. So keep buying Call of Duty.
But guess what, Sega Man?
Yeah.
I'm already level 55.
Damn.
Damn, boy.
I got that achievement and I'm fine, man. I'm
level
good.
55 in Call of Duty? Wow.
Yeah. I did that on Friday.
God damn, T.
Boy, that's one thing I told everybody in the show what I did the other day. I mean, when it comes down to gaming, nobody cannot compete with you when it comes down to
Reaper is killing it.
about you
Yeah.
taking control over
So
the
then
game.
I went to
You play a game,
Sledgehammer
you play a
on
game.
Twitter, and I'm like, "Yo, where's the prestige system? I'm already level 5 capped, and I already got a light." So I was like, "Yo, if I can get this running, this might be a question need to be answered soon because I want my prestige system if I'm going to play again."
Right. Well, AT, man, I'm hearing that they're saying Halo Infinite passes Destiny 2 on the most played games list in the
Yeah,
US.
that's what I'm playing now. Actually, I'm playing Halo Infinite right now.
Nice. Oh, we got our brother Hebot in the building. What's up, Hebot?
Hey, Hebot.
Happy Thanksgiving to my brothers. Hey, Chuck, I'm
What's
mad
up,
as
man?
hell at you, bro. I've been calling you all Thanksgiving weekend, and you didn't even answer my call.
Oh, Tuck, what's
Man,
wrong
I'm
with
sorry
you?
about that, man. I will just spend time with family and all that stuff. I'm sorry about that.
I thought I was family too, Chuck. Damn, that's fucked up, yo.
What's up with my brother Hebot? How are you, my friend?
I'm okay, guys. I'm blessed. I'm here. We're all blessed as long as we're here, you know?
Oh, and Tuck, after we get off the podcast, if you want, I think me and Hebot are going to play again Alien Fireteam Elite. We played it last night, and we had a lot of fun, man. We're going to play it probably again tonight, brother, if you want to
Oh,
join
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'll see,
I'm get on there with you. That's no problem. I still got the game.
Okay.
I'll see if I can stream it for this time around.
Yeah, if we get him in there, Hebot, Tuck, that'd be nice to stream all three of us playing, bro. That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
that's a game. It's fun. It's fun. I haven't played it. I played it for the first time last night.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lie. I played it a little bit, and then I stopped playing, and then I played it again co-op for the first time last night.
Yeah.
But I was playing it alone because my sons are a bunch of bums. They never want to play with dad. And yes, I threw them under the bus.
Oh, they're gonna be salty at you, man.
Yeah, they bums, man. They never want to play with pops. They're like, yo, pops, you old, man. You can't play. I was like, oh, for real? Get on it. I'll bust your ass. My son still don't want to play me in Madden. I was like, oh, bust your ass in Madden.
Yeah.
He swears because his pops is old, he can't play.
Hey, Hebot, brother, I gotta ask you because I asked Tuck and T. They were talking because they wanted to talk about it really bad, especially our brother T Reaper. What is going on with what's going on with Dustin Legary, man? Is he out there damage controlling? Is he crying again, man? They said, is he all over the place?
No, Dustin Gary just needs to take a fucking. He needs to stop smoking the pony pill. That's all. Look, Dustin Gary, and I told you guys this all the time, and people are like, no, but he's Xbox. No, the fuck he's not. He's not Xbox. He's Xbox now because he knows the tides are turning. Like our brother E-Rock says, there's been a paradigm shift, and he wants to make sure that people follow him because he wants to stay relevant. He wants to make money off of IGN. He wants to make money off of his channel and whatever he does for a living. Like the man's a grifter. That's how I say it. He's a grifter. Why do I mean by grifter? Because he follows whatever's popular to make sure he fills up his pocket. And if you're gonna be that way, at least be honest about it, bro. Just be like, yo, man, it's true. I've been caught doing certain things sometimes. I have a bias. Just be honest. Because he is biased. He tried to make the argument about Xbox tax now and compared it to 2013 when this is not 2013. And yeah, Phil Spencer said it was a disaster. Of course he is, because what else is he going to say? The Xbox One wasn't selling well. Everybody in the media kept talking shit. Because why? They were talking dumb stuff. They were saying stupid shit like, I don't know where to find the save button. The brick, look how big it is. When those things have nothing to do with gaming.
Yeah.
Gaming had nothing to do with how the power brick, the way it was built. And if anybody is a real Xbox fan, they would say, well, Microsoft did that because they were afraid to have the same incident that happened with the 360 getting the red rings of death. That's why they created the power brick the way they did with the Xbox One. It was a precautionary measure, right? Because they were afraid of getting same issues with the Xbox 360 with the red rings of death, because that cost them $3.6 billion. It's called being smart and having smart business tactics. Of course, they had to take precautionary measures because, again, they had $3.6 billion that came out of the pocket to fix the issues with the 360. That's why I had a power break, right?
Yeah.
So for him to be disingenuous is nothing that surprises me. I don't go to Dustin's channel for that same reason, because Dustin and Gary is not a real Xbox fan. He's a person that basically does what he does. He does things for his own personal benefit. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Us, we don't get paid by IGN, and we're not well known in the gaming industry because we're not part of the media of video games, right? We're not. So we don't have to worry about if we have to side with one side or be biased in order to stay relevant or to keep people watching our channels. If people watch our channels, great. If they don't, oh well, who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's not the same thing with him. With him, it's different, but he won't admit it, right?
Yeah.
Because again, how do you compare? How do you compare 2013, right,
Mm-hmm.
with what's going on now? You can't. And what do you expect Phil Spencer to say? Oh, it was great. Phil Spencer's a professional. He's not going to say the truth. He's not going to say the media was being biased, because he's not that type of person. What Phil Spencer does, he makes good decisions to make Xbox a better brand and to shut people up by the decisions they make and by making Xbox a better brand.
Yeah.
He don't have to talk. He don't have to call out the media, right? Look, if you want to see proof that Phil Spencer wasn't agreeing with IGN, just look at the interviews he did. When he did the interview with Ryan with Shaggy, with McCaffrey, right? Ryan McCaffrey.
Yeah.
It was a long time after that interview that he did. Remember when Ryan McCaffrey said, "So Phil, how does it feel to have a PlayStation 4 be such a beast of a console in this generation?" Okay. After he did that interview with Ryan, what he did, he blacklisted IGN for almost 5 years. He didn't do another interview.
Yeah, you're right, Ebot. You're right.
So why do you think he did that? He did that because he's not stupid. Because when he did the interview again with Ryan, he was like, "Damn, it's nice to have you back. It's been such a long time." Of course it was, because Phil wasn't happy when you guys did what you did.
Yeah.
When Don Metric did his interview, when he was talking about all the things going on, and Larry Herb, when he did the interview with fucking dumbass angry fuckface Joe,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
what happened? What did he do? They never gave him an interview again, and they blacklisted him. They stopped sending him shit. He stopped getting Xbox products because they're not going to cater to people that are influencers that are not critiquing. They're hating on Xbox. They're talking shit about Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to critique. It's another thing to act straight out biased and dumb about a brand. Okay? Because the fact of the matter is, Xbox One still did better than any other console that generation because they made money. And at the end of the day, it's about making money, because they made the most money than PlayStation and Nintendo combined, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't make money, obviously it wasn't a successful generation. It was successful. But what they did was they fixed a lot of the complaints that people were talking about to shut people up by making the console slimmer, by not having a power brick, right?
Yeah.
By not tying the Connect peripheral to the console, by letting you play it without it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even that took about a year to get done, because the console was originally created as a unified console where the Connect and the console were a one cohesive unit. And they built it that way because they wanted to be, feel next generation. They wanted to feel cohesive. The first Connect was added on to the 360. That's why it didn't work as well, and a lot of things that they wanted to do didn't come out the way they wanted it to, because it was built in. It wasn't built together with the console that it worked perfect. It was added on, right? And still, it became the number one selling peripheral of all times,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. It did.
So at the end of the day, it didn't matter if people were happy with it or not. The sales proved that it did well. It's not like PlayStation VR. It didn't do well. PlayStation VR hasn't done well. The first one didn't do well, and the second one hasn't done well, right?
Uh-huh.
So for you to sit there and talk all that dumb shit without giving real details and explanations shows that you're not unbiased, you're stupid and you're ignorant. Bottom line. How dare you? How can you say that? Because it's true. Don Matrix did a review interview with, I think it was Jeff Keighley, very cordial, very respectful, very professional. And he was just saying, our vision is to do the console in this way so that we can do these certain things that we want with the Xbox One. Our vision is to do this, to do that. And all they concentrated was, DRM. And yet the DRM never happened.
Yeah.
Because once they saw that people weren't happy with it, they were like, okay, let's retract it. Let's not do it, because the people are not happy with it. They're not ready for this type of gaming, gaming setup, I guess, or how they were trying to do it. And at the end of the day, PlayStation 4 and even Nintendo, in a lot of ways, were doing the same thing. It ended up being the same thing, right? That they were trying to do with the Xbox One originally in 2013. And when he goes, well, what about people that don't have internet? He said, well, unfortunately, we can't fix that. So for those people, all we can say is at least we have the Xbox 360 as an option, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically what Don Matrix said, right? And then they skewed it and spinning it around, made it seem like, oh, you see how arrogant they were. They were like, oh, yeah, go get a 360. No, that's not what he said. He said, thankfully, we have another option, which is the 360, and you can play there until you're able to upgrade to an Xbox One. That's all Don Matrix said. That's all he said. That wasn't distasteful. That wasn't arrogant. That wasn't disrespectful. Don Matrix was just keeping it real. He was being 100. That's it. And that's the type of shit.
In the house, man.
Huh?
Dea's in the house, huh?
Yes, Miss Dea's in the house. The first lady of chat is here with us, man. I'm so
Oh,
glad.
yeah. Hey, Dea, what's up, girl? Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Nice. So, that's basically what really risks me and gets me angry, because these guys, they want to listen. Jeff Keighley's whole entire committee is nothing but the same sites that cater to PlayStation or Nintendo. So by default, already by his committee, the only person in the committee that's not biased or that's not PlayStation centric or Nintendo centric is Phil Spencer. And Phil Spencer, obviously, the reason why he has him there because it works in his favor. It makes him look good. Oh, look, we have Phil Spencer. He knows Phil Spencer's well liked in the industry. He knows that Phil Spencer is going to benefit him in many ways, because the truth of the matter is, how is Jeff Keighley able to present his award show? He's been using the Microsoft Center.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because that's a good center, that's a good outlet, right? A good stage that has high quality, that he could do his show, and he don't have to pay the type of money that he would have to pay if he did it in any other venue around the world. Like if he tried to do it, let's say, in Madison Square Garden or in the Javits Center in New York, he's not going to be able to afford it. And he knows that. So again, what do you do? What's the word that they say? You keep your friends close and your enemies closer?
Yes, sir.
That's the whole idea behind Phil Spencer being on the committee. Okay? So Destin and Gary, like I said, it doesn't surprise me. But again, He's always been disingenuous. He is not an Xbox guy, true and true, right? Because again, if he was, he would have never been part of the problem back in 2013 when he did that thumbnail saying 1080p versus 720, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't erase that. And it doesn't matter if now you're not saying that. It's as soon as Xbox got the edge with the Xbox One X, right? Or the Xbox One, you know, the Pro Xbox, it's called the Xbox One X, right?
Yeah, the Xbox One X.
That it had more power, and they shut down the power narrative. As soon as they did that, nobody was talking about resolution. Then the conversation became, but we have to talk about games. The whole conversation became about, well, we have to talk about games because Xbox has little games, not big AAA, when they had games right from the very launch, as opposed to PlayStation that they didn't have shit. All they had was Knack, Killzone, which was terrible, and Resogun, which was an indie game that they sold for like way more than they should have, because Knack should have not been a $60 game. Knack should have been a $20 indie game. And yet they sold it for fucking $60.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, all that hypocrisy, all he is that he's mad because now people are calling it out. And he wants to stay face so that people that he does associate with around him that are biased, that are haters of Xbox, won't get mad at him and be like, yo, Dustin, what you doing? He's not stupid. He's not going to create bad blood with the people that have been paying his bills and that been sucking his asshole the whole time. Excuse my language there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not going to do that. But he wants to get on Twitter and on YouTube and treat other people that are not stupid, that have been seeing it clear as day, like we're dumb. He treats us like we're stupid and we don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bull crap. Y'all just trying to create fake narrative. No, we're not. Listen, when they did the awards and you saw that Forza got nominated for the best racing game, and instead they gave it to Rocket League, when Rocket League is not even a racing game.
Yeah, that was, man.
When Rocket League, it's not even a racing game. Rocket League is a sports game.
Yeah.
That you use cars.
That was bad.
Okay? And the fact that you're saying that Starfield, of course Starfield not going to get nominated because it was divided. Listen, Starfield, at the end of the day, whether the reviews were divided or not, is a very sophisticated and complex game in comparison to fucking Mario Wonders.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and tell me Mario Wonders, because it has pedigree. Motherfucker, how do you think it got pedigree? Because you have to give games and IPs opportunities to get recognized. And the whole point of doing a game award yearly is to celebrate all the new games that come out, especially new IPs. Because how do you discover new IPs to become franchises and become successful? You have to give them a platform. You have to give them an opportunity. You have to give them a chance. Because I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Games like Rayman Legend, Ori and the Blind Forest, even Cuphead, for Christ's sakes. Those games run circles over anything that Mario has ever done. Way more high quality, way more sophisticated, way better games. Graphically, narratively, gameplay wise, in every way. And I don't care if people call me fucking crazy. I don't give a shit. Mario has been doing the same thing for 30, 40 years. And all they've done is, make let's say a 3D version, an RPG version, I don't know, a side-scrolling version, right? But at the end of the day, the structure, the idea, we got to say Princess Peach is the same exact thing in every single game.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, Sonic did that, right? And yet Sonic gets hate all the time. Do they not?
Yeah.
They get hate all the time. Right?
Yeah.
So how come is different, right? How come it's different with Sonic, right? When Sonic was the first mascot to really try to do different things since the Sega Genesis era, right?
May I say something to that? It's because it's Nintendo.
Right. Absolutely. That's my whole point, because there's a bias to Nintendo. It's that simple. Look, Daya, you know what I've argued always with people and they don't like it, and I tell them all the time? The only reason Mario was successful was because it was given out for free. When you bought a Nintendo Entertainment System, Mario was free. When Sonic first hit the scene, you had to buy the game. It got success on its own merit because people bought it, and it actually was a legitimate good game. Was it?
Yeah, it was.
He bought?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying, guys?
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You dropped out. I think you dropped out.
So if it was a good game, right? So if it was a good game, right? Then that means Sonic earns his stripes on its own merit. It wasn't given out for free. Then Tom Kalinske suggested, well, listen, since Sonic is doing so well, right? Let's pack it in and take out Ultra Beast with the Genesis. And we're going to keep having more success. And that's when they packed it in. And they kept on selling more of the same product, right? And it became bigger and bigger. But it wasn't given out for free. Nintendo's Mario was. Mario, Duck Hunt, and Gyromite was given out for free. And it wasn't until Super Mario's 2 and then 3 that they didn't sell it by itself, and it sold well after the success of Super Mario 1 with the Nintendo NES.
Super NES, yeah.
So if you want to look at it really in a realistic way, Sonic earned his stripes by selling right from the beginning. Mario, it was because it was the first game of its kind on a console that was given out for free. That Nintendo lied to all the people, all the company, all the people that carried the Nintendo NES system, right? They said it wasn't a video game console. They said it was an electronic toy. And by selling it as a toy, they convinced people to carry it. And that's how they were able to sell it after the crash that we had with Atari, because nobody wanted to pick up any video game consoles after the crash, because they lost a whole bunch of money because Atari wasn't selling games, right?
Yeah.
With quality. In other words, they had a bunch of games that there was no quality control, and they were selling them for 50 and 40 and 60 bucks even back then, and they were basically shovelware. They were bad games. Good example, E.T. E.T. was horrendous because they gave the guy who created the game 5 months to make the game to coincide with the movie or the hype of the movie, right? And he only had 5 months to develop the game. If you go look at the documentary, you can see the entire thing. And there's no way that he was going to be able to create something that was, what you call it? What's the name? What's that word? Something that was actually really good, right?
Yeah.
In such a short time and short notice, So again, like I said, all that shit Dustin does, he's been doing it since IGN. He was the one that was always on the podcast online, the Xbox podcast with Ryan McCaffrey, right? And he would always throw shade at Xbox, just like that other girl that was there with them. Just like that blonde-haired chick that she does her own channel now that she writes for Sony, Santa Monica. What's her name?
I forgot her name. I know who you're talking about, though.
Oh my God, Alana Pierce. Alana Pierce. Same thing. All they did was always throw shade at Xbox because they don't like that Xbox was doing things that was innovating, moving the industry forward, and was threatening their console and their platform of choice. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the whole bottom line. Just like PC. PC has gotten a resurgence of interest and become bigger because Microsoft has given them so many interesting and intriguing things, and now the PC platform is more intriguing to the point where people are, well, why you need an Xbox if you got a PC? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because PC gamers and console gamers are two different demographics. Yeah, we
I
play
agree.
video games, but they're two different types of demographics.
Yeah.
Console gamers have a different mindset than a PC gamer.
Yeah, that's true. Dan knows.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yes, there are some PC gamers that play on console as well, of course. But for the most part, they're two different demographics. The same way that no one can argue that video game and the industry of video games is where it is today because of console gaming. It's not PC. Yes, they create the games on PC, but if it wasn't for console gaming, the gaming industry wouldn't be where it is today. If it wasn't for the arcades, the gaming industry wouldn't be where it is today, because the arcades is pretty much the inception of online gaming, social media gaming. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, if you don't know arcade culture or lifestyle, you wouldn't understand what the fuck I'm saying. You'd be like, what is he talking about? Is he crazy? That's why a lot of these young cats have no respect for the, inception of gaming, where it came from, the culture. And when you tell them things like Pong was a very important part of gaming, they'll be like, hell, that game is corny. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have no respect for anything. They do the same thing with movies. They do the same thing with comics. They do the same thing with a lot of things. That's why nowadays they try to take the material or creations of other people and try to change it up, right? And make their own version of it and act like it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay for you to take somebody else's material, somebody else's creations and ideas, and change them to your way of thinking based on today's society, because you think you have a right to do that. No, you don't have a right to do that. That's like me going into your house and telling you how you're going to clean your house, how you're going to cook your food, how you're going to raise your kids. No, I don't have a right to do that. No one does. And it's the same thing with a source material of anything that is already an existing IP, no matter the medium, whether it's music, whether it's movies, whether it's video games. You have no right. And that's why you see the position that people are in now, like Disney with their movies, like Warner Brothers with their movies, like Marvel with their movies and their comic books, and even DC with their comic books. Because you got these fucking people coming in with no creativity of their own. They want to take what's already existing and then put their ideologies in it and think that, oh yeah, it's okay. No, the fuck it's not. Go make and create your own shit, and then you can say, oh, and take credit for it. It belongs to me. That's why I don't respect God of War. God of War is not original. It took Greek mythology and made it its own version of it. It took Norse mythology and made its own version of it. Now, when you look at something like Gears of War or Halo, there was nothing like it. Nothing. It was an original idea that someone created at Microsoft, at Bungie, that worked with Microsoft at the time and created something new and fresh. That is why Halo and Gears shits over anything on PlayStation. Anything. Whether you want to hear it or not, because those IPs are not original. They're just not.
Yeah.
Same thing like Days Gone. That's not nothing original.
Mm-hmm.
Horizon Zero Dawn was a fucking mock-up of Enslaved that was created by Ninja Theory, the people who did Hellblade. If you and even in their featurette, they talked about it, that they were thinking about making it, and they started, and then they saw Enslaved, and that they didn't bring it, they cut it, and they didn't do it because it was too much like it, and they didn't want to feel like they copied. But now, many years later, they brought it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people try to give them credit as if, oh my God, it's an original idea. Look, it's amazing. Look, a world in a third world war after, that where people are living in and that the creatures are all robotic. That was Enslaved. Enslaved did that first. It was a Ninja Theory idea. The same way Ninja Theory is now with Xbox, and people try to say, oh, they stole them after Hellblade. No, because Ninja Theory made their first game on Xbox on the OG with Kung Fu Chaos. They gave them their first opportunity. And if you look at their featurette, that's what they talked about. We decided to go with Microsoft because they were the ones who gave us our first opportunity on the OG with Kung Fu Chaos, while nobody else did.
You're right, Hebot.
See what I'm saying? The same way that the Xbox One generation, it was so bad. They were so bad that they were the only console supporting all these other developers, giving them the opportunity to make their games, right? Giving them the opportunity to create new ideas, new IPs by funding them and publishing the game. And then after they did that, they went somewhere else. Titanfall, Tomb Raider, the second one, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, right? Ori, Cuphead, Ashen, right? Dead Rising 3, when they did their Dead Rising, they fully funded and paid. That is the difference between Xbox games and exclusives versus PlayStation. PlayStation didn't fund nearly none of them. They didn't publish nearly none of them, and they didn't help the developer. All they did was, look, we're going to pay you money to make it exclusive to our console. And they took the money. That's it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how was Xbox One horrible while they were still helping? Shit, they helped the guys, the Korean developers who did PUBG, to bring PUBG to console. It wasn't Sony. It wasn't Nintendo. It was Xbox. And they have massive success. You see?
Yeah.
So you do your homework and you really look at it the right way, everybody's going to know that it's because of Xbox that this industry has been sustained and has moved forward with evolution and making gaming better and more interesting and more exciting. Online games, they started with Sega and they with the Dreamcast, and they continued with the OG, and they expanded it and kept perfecting it and made it what it is today. Online gaming is where it is today because of the OG Xbox and Dreamcast, because Microsoft and Sega started it all in the level that it is today. Yeah, there was online gaming with Game Genie during the Genesis and NES, but you had to buy a priest. It worked with modem and dial-up, and it was very, very primitive. But the way that it is today, to the extent that it is today, that's thanks to Sega and Xbox, Microsoft. Not Sony. Sony went and copied what they did and then tried to take accolades for it. Even the fucking force feedback and all that shit, like, Rumble, that feature that was created by other people, even in the Nintendo era. And Sony tried to take credit for it. That's why they got sued in the PS3. When they first released their controllers, they didn't have it.
Yeah.
They didn't have no Rumble. They added it on afterwards because they lost the lawsuit. And then they gave them permission to use it. But a lot of these dudes play like, and have amnesia. They try to act like Sony's been doing great things. No, Sony games started getting accolades because they started making them like movies instead of games. So there's a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of acting involved, and there's a lot of performances with mocap. So that's why they're being looked at with accolades, because now it's actors performing these performances and they're writing them like movies. But when you play the game, they have little gameplay substance. Most of it is simplistic and holds your hand. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So what do I say about Dustin and Gary? Listen, you fake, dude. And if you mad that people call you out, that's your problem. You make your own bed, now you gotta lay on it. But don't act like a hypocrite, trying to act like, no, sir, I've been Xbox strong. No, the fucking haven't, bro. You're a fucking liar. You're capping. You're disingenuous. And you're as fake as they come. You're a fucking grifter. You are not an Xbox fan. You're just a guy in the media that has a position to open your mouth and talk and say stupid shit however you feel like it, because you have a position in the gaming media. But just because you have that position doesn't mean that you're genuine and that you're honest and that you know the truth. No. The truth has been hidden for forever. That's why you see now articles from Polygon, for example, saying, oh my God, Quantum Break was amazing. It deserves so much praises. Too bad that it didn't get the accolades back then.
Yep, it didn't.
That's why you see Polygon saying the Xbox Series X is so ahead of its time, when thanks to the Xbox One, and gaming is much better because of it. That's what we said since day one. So you're not gonna get a pass now that you decided to be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Xbox is pretty great. That's why you see a lot of people that were only PlayStation, right? For example, that were only PlayStation. Now you see them, and they're like, damn, I should have got an Xbox way before because I was wrong. The Xbox is actually a great console, great ecosystem. It has a lot to offer. I should have gave them a chance way before. Now you want to say that? You look at a lot of YouTubers saying that shit now. Because during the PS4 generation, they were blinded by perception. But the thing with perception is, like I've talked with other Zincs until we turned purple, that perception doesn't make you money. How many people used to think that Tom's Diner, the song, La Da Dee La Da Da, was a fantastic song? When you look at it today, the song was shit. But it sold millions because it was catchy. Same thing, like a lot of people love Justin Bieber. That don't mean he makes the best music in the world. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many people don't swear by the Bible that iPhones are the best phones in the world when the fucking shit's trash? Android gives you way more features and way more, what you call it, freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's not proprietary. You're not stuck to their ecosystem only. Microsoft ecosystem, you're not just stuck to Xbox. You can play on PC, you can play on tablet, you can play on the phone. You see? So how are you going to say that they weren't for the gamers, or they weren't for the industry, or they weren't for gaming culture? Like, you got to be a fucking moron to say shit like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I can have respect for somebody like Daya, for example. Because Daya, although she's a PC girl or a gamer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daya is not dumb, and Daya knows and recognizes, look, I'm seeing now the difference, and now I understand that many people were wrong. You know, many people were wrong about Xbox.
Yeah.
And that Microsoft is a very good platform.
Yes.
And a very good ecosystem. Because Daya's not stupid. She's not biased. She may be a PC gamer, but she's not afraid to admit the truth. And that's the problem with this industry. That they don't know how to admit when they're wrong. Because they got ego. So they think they can treat people like we're stupid.
Yeah.
But we're not stupid. Real gamers are not dumb. Why Hi-Fi Rush did so well? Because Hi-Fi Rush didn't give an opportunity to the fucking fake Metacritic to be like, oh, you know what? This game sucks. No. It was shadow dropped, and the people that got their hands first on it was the gamers.
Yep.
And when they got their hands on the game, and when they got their hands on that game, what happened? They fucking loved it. And they saw that it was a quality game.
Blew up, yep.
And what happened then? The media couldn't talk shit about it then because it didn't matter. Because whether they said the game was shit or not, the gamers spoke. The gamers said what they had to say. Look, the gamers said, look, this game is fucking fire. And that's what pissed them off about Hi-Fi Rush. And that's why you don't see Hi-Fi Rush nominated for Game of the Year. Because that game pissed them off. And don't sit there and tell me Hi-Fi Rush is not better than Mario Wonders. Hi-Fi Rush is not better than Zelda. Hi-Fi Rush is not better than fucking Spider-Man 2, or that it's not better than fucking Resident Evil, right? Mm-hmm. Because Resident Evil has no business even being there. That's a remake of the same game. It's the same fucking game with brand new, with a brand new coat of cosmetics.
That's all.
That's it. That's all it is. And what they did was. Yeah, and then what they did
after you're done, Hebot.
Absolutely.
Hey, Hebot.
Go right ahead, honey. I think those are my thoughts. I've already gone long enough. If I'll say anything else later on, go ahead. Talk. Go ahead.
Okay, I've kind of heard some people behind the scenes say that they're setting up. It's a purpose behind the Resident Evil. Now, this is conspiracy theory to be true because there's no evidence of
Oh,
this.
go ahead, Dad, please.
Okay, go ahead, dear.
Okay, but what I'm just curious about this. It could be the case because they kind of see the roadmap for PlayStation looking pretty bleak next year, right? And
Yeah.
they're gonna end up coming out with The Last of Us 2. We know that's been announced, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. So what Resident Evil has done this year, it will pay. Now, this is from another person. I just want to hear your thoughts on this. That it's
Absolutely.
paved the way for remakes and remasters and all that stuff to get into Game of the Year. So it allows Sony to have a fighting chance in the Game of the Year.
Oh, I got an answer for you immediately, my love.
Okay, so I thought about that. So this person believes that next year, The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be nominated for Game of the Year, just like Resident Evil was this year. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I know that's.
I mean,
Wow.
if that's the case, there, right? And this is why people don't like me, because I always point out the facts. Then why the fuck did Halo, Master Chief Collection, and Gears of War Ultimate didn't get nominated?
Yeah. Good point.
Because Gears of War Ultimate and Halo, Master Chief Collection, whether the online component have bugs or some issues, those games are the real reason and the real way how you do remasters.
Oh yes, definitely, bro.
Not only was it graphically remastered, they added content that was never added before. They had a multiplayer component. They refined the gameplay. They refined the multiplayer with gameplay mechanics that didn't exist in the original game, that were added later on in other games in the series. They tweaked up the entire cutscenes and made them brand new from scratch. That they paid $1 billion for each cutscene. Okay. And they also had the same gameplay quality preserved, not tampered, not touched, 1000%. So why wasn't Gears Ultimate and Halo Master Chief Collection nominated?
And they're both.
If somebody can tell me why they weren't
They're both older
and
games.
give me a legitimate answer, then for that I call bullshit. Because it was those games that paved the way for remasters being done right. Because Gears of War deserved a remaster. It was a 10-year-old game and it looked like shit. Resident Evil 4 got a remaster, remember?
Yeah, it did.
And then they remastered a remaster of a remaster. They need another remaster. They just did it because they know they're going to get money out of it because people love that particular Resident Evil. That's the most sought out Resident Evil of all of them.
One of the best ever. It's one of the best. Yeah.
That's why. So again, if I'm wrong, my love, right? Please tell me why weren't those nominated?
Hey, wait. Let me get through. If they do shit like that, it's sad, man.
Huh?
How in the hell you gonna remaster a game again to turn around and try to hold Sony accountable?
And Tuck, here's the thing. Halo Master Chief Collection gave you every Halo game. They even added ODST and Reach.
Yeah.
And they didn't charge you a dime for it.
Nope.
It was still $60.
Yes, it's still the best collection I've
It
ever
is,
played.
Dan.
No collection can touch it. None.
100%.
None. There's no collection out
I
there
love
that can touch Halo Master Chief Collection.
I
Not
love
one.
it. I love it. Yeah.
And Gears of War was one game, and they charged you $40. They didn't do that with Resident Evil.
No, they didn't.
You see what I'm trying to say? That's why I call hypocrisy there, and that's why people don't like me, because I don't have amnesia. Until I don't die, I don't have amnesia. I remember all these, and those games weren't even nominated. They weren't even looked at. Instead, all you saw is, oh my God, Gears of War Ultimate, it really kind of leaves you lackluster because it's too much A button. Remember that, IGN?
Yeah.
I remember that, IGN. Shit, they did that with the Pokemon Snap remaster. They said it had too much water in the game. What the Who the fuck says some stupid shit like that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just imagine.
And I'm supposed to take you seriously as a journalist or a gaming journalist? Online site? No. Master Chief, all they did there was, and you know it, hon, because you saw it. All they did was talk trash. Oh, that the online multiplayer component is not good enough, or that it had too much issues, or that they nerfed it, or that they didn't add this, or that they didn't add that.
You know, they've lost all credibility after putting Spider-Man 2 as game of the year in the state. That game was worse than Starfield. And Starfield,
Way worse.
I didn't
every way.
have nearly anything like what I saw those people was dealing with
You're
this,
right, Dan.
Spider-Man game. I even
Right.
you know, I even challenged this guy on that, and he just blew up, man. I think these ponies are unstable. They're completely unstable.
Oh, yeah.
I don't say that lightly either. I think that this whole thing that's going on with Sony has really got them strung high, you know. And and I, you know, this guy blew up at me, and I'm like, I said, I never thought I'd see the day when a Bethesda game has less bugs than a Spider-Man game. You know, 'cause I can at least get that to Insomniac that they didn't have buggy games.
But here's the thing, too, Daya, if I may add to what you're saying, and forgive me for cutting you off. Since the beginning of time, everyone said that I know, and I'm not a Bethesda fanatic, right? Or fanatical, right? But since the beginning of time, many people said that Bethesda games had bugs because Bethesda kind of did that deliberately because they have a big modding community, and that the modders do a lot of different things and fixes, and they kind of do it on purpose. That's what I heard.
That's not true. I can tell you what. Look, Ty Howard actually told you the truth when Starfield released. It's an interview that he did after the fact, and he said that what they learned through Skyrim and Fallout is that these modders, like they never built the game for modders to begin with. That's a misconception. He said that in that interview. He said that this is the one game that they built from the beginning with the modders in mind. So doing bugs is not something that Ty Howard planned to do. You have to look at it from two perspectives. They were a publisher that, you know, those Bethesda games take a long time to come out. You can hold in your hand how many games they've ever released. They don't release a lot. The only time they ever released them kind of close was the early ones like Oblivion and Morrowind. That's back when games could be whipped out a lot faster. But now those games have a lot larger of a gap. So you got to understand that by the time it's time for Ty to release another game, there's a lot of at that time before Microsoft took him, there was a lot of pressure for him to get that game out of there because it's been under development for so long. They've spent so much money, and so a lot of times Ty, I think, had to make those decisions and say, well, we'll follow up later, and you know, it would be running and all that, some, you know, but it would be buggy. You know, it would take them a long time to do that Q&A, and in this time, what sets Starfield apart from the other times is you had an owner like Phil Spencer having everybody testing the game. I don't think that ZeniMax ever did that. Like he had everybody all hands on deck for Starfield so that they can make sure that game was the least buggy. I've never seen that kind of support before they were acquired. So with that type of backing, and everybody, you know, was doing it was so much so that Phil didn't even know what was happening with Arcane. I mean, he had his eyes was solely focused on Starfield. So when you look at it from that perspective, that before Bethesda was under the pressure to release the game, and that, you know, and you know, Ty himself admitted that he never built any game before Starfield to have bugs in it for the sake of modders. That's not what he did.
You know, another thing is too, I'm pretty sure games on, like, you know, like the Bethesda games on console were much buggier on console because you got to look at it from the perspective of hardware. The hardware was limited, and those games were very ambitious.
Right, they always.
So in order to get the bugs and everything fixed, it's going to take a long time because, you know, Morrowind and Skyrim, they were huge games.
Oh yeah,
they were for the time. That's true.
Oh, absolutely huge.
Yeah. I mean, so that's Bethesda's MO. That's what they
do. I like what you said. I like what you just said. I had never seen a company. They supported them.
They did.
wanted to
They
make sure the game-
adopted
the game
them right
came out right.
away.
I never
Yeah.
seen that before done in my life.
Yeah.
So they did a good job. I mean, Microsoft
Yeah.
came in, they helped them out, helped them get the game as buggy as they can out of there, so it won't have that many bugs on release. And like you said, due to what Phil Spencer, he forgot all about arcade. He wanted to make sure that
He
this
did.
was out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
The other thing too is
But one, hey, but let me get through.
Bethesda.
Let me get through. But there's only one thing about it. From here on out, that won't happen in any other game that's
No.
coming out on the Xbox
No.
from here on out.
Nope. And
It wouldn't
I
have to be
also
that-
partially blame Pete Hines for that because that was his responsibility. He should have informed Phil
Right.
the state of that game,
Right.
but he didn't. You
Oh,
know, so
Right,
Oh,
but
okay.
from here on out, that ain't gonna happen again.
right.
So
Dea.
Mm-hmm.
But you got, but one thing I gotta say about
Good.
real quick about Bethesda is the other thing is the Bethesda's always been a developer that they stay committed to their projects. Like they don't
True.
just abandon their games or their fan base because
Exactly.
from what I understand, right? Because I remember my son too when he was playing the game religiously. What was it? Fallout 76, right? Fallout 76 supposedly was like horrendous, like really bad. And they kept fixing and fixing. They're saying now that Fallout 76 is fucking like
Fantastic.
night and
That's
day.
what I hear. Yeah, I have a friend who plays it and he loves it. He's tried to get
They
me
say
in.
it's like night and day, and the game is like fantastic now.
That's awesome, man. And like you said, Hebot, yes, they were always known to have bugs in there, but with the modders and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's gonna be in my opinion a lot better. I'm very addicted to Starfield. I haven't played.
Me personally, I never seen no bugs when my son plays Starfield. I never seen him encounter any bugs.
Me about
I've
like
seen-
2, and that's
Me
it.
too, Dea. About two.
That's all I've seen.
About
But
two.
but even two, were they game breaking?
No, they were like
Okay.
Sarah was standing on a table one
So
time.
at the end of the day, if they're not game breaking, where it ruined your console, where
No.
it restarted or where it restarted your gameplay,
Like
or
Cyberpunk.
where it corrupted your save, it didn't do none of that, right?
None of that. No,
Yeah.
nowhere
See,
near
Spider-Man-
Spider-Man. Nowhere near.
Spider-Man 2 has corrupted consoles, has ruined people's save, has restarted and make them start all over, like completely crash the consoles while playing. Those are game-breaking bugs.
Yep.
Okay, so even then, how can Spider-Man 2, like you so elegantly put it, be nominated, and yet they held such a high standard to Bethesda's Starfield?
Yeah.
You see?
Well, I'll put it like this, Hebot. I'll put it like this. Look at it like this thing is like this. Okay. Now they're so pissed off at Titanfall, Redfall, because it didn't come out on their damn system. Now they said that game was buggy as hell. Okay, and I didn't see that many bugs at all. I might have seen a couple of bugs.
I didn't either.
But not that many bugs to really turn around and tell the difference. Now why the hell all of a sudden this damn Spider-Man game come out? The Spider-Man game come out, it's buggy as hell, and it's getting game of the year. But I guarantee you right now, if Redfall would have came to that PlayStation, you know what? We wouldn't be having this conversation today about that game being buggy. Let's just be truthful.
If that was PlayStation's only game or something like that, yeah, they would have ignored
Or
it.
that would have been an exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, they would have ignored
Yeah,
it.
I wholeheartedly believe if Starfield would have been exclusive to PlayStation, it would have been nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
Redfall wouldn't have been nominated, but it definitely would have been. If they can ignore what Spider-Man had in its games, and now I will admit, Redfall was rough for PC. And when I played it on PC Game Pass, for some reason it was a lot more stable on Game Pass than it was on Steam for me. So I don't know why. And then I ended up just sticking with the my PC Game Pass gameplay. So because I had 2 games going. I had a single player, and then I had a multiplayer game going on. But I ended up bringing everybody over to my single player because I enjoy playing on Game Pass with it. So the game, in my opinion, that was fixed early on though. Like that was like one of the early patches when it right after it came out, they fixed that, and I wasn't having that problem anymore. So I don't know. All I can say is that I want to chime in on the Dustin Legary thing.
Sure, I'd like to hear your opinion, Dad. Definitely.
What they're doing, the Dustins, some Thai guy. I've seen this guy before. I don't like him because I know what he's doing. And Paris, all of them, they're threatened. Okay, they're threatened about losing their position now that they've ruined their reputation with a lot of people. They don't really care what Xbox people think, but they, like I've said before in Sega Forever's podcast, that they messed around and crossed the wrong people this time, because you got fans of both Bethesda and Harry Potter that don't like you. Okay, they don't like the way you treated a game that they loved. Okay, and all the people who don't like Starfield don't play Bethesda games. I can tell when they describe it, what they have the problem with. I said, then you got a problem with Bethesda games. That tells me you never played one.
Right.
Okay, because that's how Starfield is, with exception to some mechanics like the flight mechanic and the building mechanics have been revamped. That's a lot better than Fallout. And certain things are new, but apart from that, everything you see in there, you can see that in some form in all their other past games, all of them. So that's just the reality. So that's why I know that a lot of these people who are complaining, they just don't like a Bethesda game. So I shut you off immediately. You can't judge a game you just simply don't like. You won't look at it objectively. But the media has been exposed, and they did it themselves. They went out so far that Dustin, in my opinion, can't justify half of the stuff that happened this year alone. This year really exposed him. The guy that you work for declared before everybody on the internet that if Microsoft went through with something that was well within their rights to do, that he would punish them. That they, IGN, because they're the bigger platform and they have more sway than the others. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
You can go back and show that's what he did. And
wait. Say that again. What did they say, Dave?
Okay. What I'm trying to say about Destin is he works for a man that declared before all of the internet that if Microsoft acquired Bethesda and made those games exclusive, okay, that there would be repercussions. And then shortly after that, we see how he goes, that they go after Starfield and every other game.
Oh, okay. Right.
So
I get it.
Dustin is trying to tell us, first off, he's playing us for fools. He's trying to say that don't believe what you see. Your own boss said that. You address that, Dustin. Or Destin, whatever his name is. He needs to address that. You work for this man.
Yeah.
I bet you he won't say anything directly about that.
No, probably not.
But somehow, everybody.
Oh, you're talking about that guy that was talking bad about the whole acquisition thing?
Yeah.
And then when you go see at his profile, he has nothing but anime stuff and Spider-Man stuff. That's the guy you talking about?
No, I'm talking about this guy is the one that actually issues out who gets what review and and all that for IGN. I forget his name though. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
And he declared that this is on the internet, man. You can, and most people already done saved their receipts, because I done seen it many times on different podcasts. What this guy said, and yeah, he declared this. This is undeniable. This is non-negotiable. Okay. And that's the one that
it's okay. We're up this way.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine.
That's not even to
I didn't know if you were, I answered that you were coming.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Because we were already up the way. I just took 46 out.
I'm sorry, but
No, not at all, not at all. It's
He
okay.
can you see a bottle of water or anything?
No, we're okay. Thank you.
I have to bring those garbage cans in anyway.
Oh,
I'm
Dan
sorry.
Stapleton. Yeah, that was his name. Yeah, Dan Stapleton. Thank you, Smitty. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
guy. That's the
Dan
guy.
Stap- yeah,
That's
Dan
what I'm talking.
Stapleton.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
He's the one that, if you look at his profile, all he likes is like anime stuff and Spider-Man. He was dressed up as Spider-Man. You could tell that he only has a certain preference,
Right.
and that's why he was talking junk.
But that's not what the smoking gun is when the guy declared what he declared. You can't look when it comes out of his own mouth. At that point, you're playing us for fools to try to act like that what we're saying is not true. Then he's saying, well, everybody's attacking all the media. Well, you know what? All the media, nobody has ever addressed this issue. Who in the media can you point to that's ever?
And plus, that's not attacking there. Attacking is saying that there's just attacks against Xbox and we accept it because we know that's how it is.
Well, that's
It's
what
not an attack. That's calling out the reality of what we see. We're not stupid.
Right, exactly. And he knows this. The reason why is because he and Paris and all the others feel threatened right now. And they should. Because this isn't going away. We're going to keep remembering it. And if we too many people have continued to turn their head away from the things they were doing in the past. And now we know they will never stop. It's only going to get worse.
Tell them, Dan.
They do not represent Xbox and they don't represent, I'll put it this way. Hogwarts had nothing to do with Xbox. This is what really should frighten everybody.
Tell them, Dan.
Hogwarts had nothing to do with Xbox. So this hatred for Xbox shouldn't even be factored in. But here's what should be scary about this is that for reasons that's beyond the developer's control or anything, they don't like the owner of the IP.
Yeah.
Justified or not.
Because she has her own beliefs and that had nothing to do. She had nothing to do. She had nothing to do with the game's development or anything. It's just her IP.
Exactly. So now what does that tell you for future games? If they don't like somebody, they don't like a company, they don't like
politics should have nothing to do with the decision if a game is good or not.
No game is safe. No game is safe. They're setting a precedent that tells you they will punish, and I mean to the degree that they did Hogwarts. No game is safe. It's up to their discretion what game gets recognized, what game is a real game, what developers need recognition for their hard work. They get to decide. They want to be the gatekeepers, and that is what they fear. They fear having that taken away from them. And it's two things that threaten that. One, exposure, which they've already started this year. And the second thing is Game Pass, because Game Pass bypasses them. If a game drops on Game Pass and everybody gets access to it, and they don't need a review to tell them what a game is like, then that threatens their future, it threatens their power. And that's why they don't like Xbox. That's why they don't like Game Pass. Notice how they attacked Game Pass in the beginning. And that's why I wanted to get out that this is what's so dangerous about them, and this is why they're frightened, because this threatens their job. And another thing, YouTube threatens it, because when you can say I don't like IGN because they're biased, you can go to somebody you trust and ignore them and not click on anything with them. So that's another thing. And I think that's what Destin is doing now. He knows if he doesn't do something to protect his job, he's going to be out of one.
Yeah.
And that's why all of them are coming out of the woodworks. It ain't just him. It's Paris and that Thai guy, whatever his name is. I mean, I can't remember his name, but I've seen him a couple of times. This guy never acknowledges any bias at all. None of them do, not even Paris, because they understand the writing on the wall. And by the way, why should I believe any of them? Because you get paid by the very industry that we have a problem with.
That's right.
So I don't trust you. None of you.
Yeah.
And if you want my trust, you have to earn it.
That's the same thing I was saying with the whole thing with the committee for the awards with Jeff Keighley. Look, Jeff Keighley did a video right there talking about and addressing, what people were calling out about why he does the way he does the gaming awards and how he makes the choices. Yeah. And he said, this is what he said. He said in the video, it's on YouTube. He said the reason why we decided to have the committee of 150 or 200 people to make the decisions of the games that are elected is because we found out that it was much easier than having the gaming community, because there's going to be a lot of preferences and bias towards certain games. What?
What the hell do you think you doing?
That is the same exact logic that you guys are doing and using to pick the games yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So how you know, if anything, with the gaming community, you're going to get the real choices that people want.
See, there's no transparency, and as long as there is none, nobody's going to trust anything about the game,
You know what I mean?
Wars
Exactly.
or Keeley or anything else. I know I won't.
I mean, I just don't
Listen.
get that. I mean, how the hell can he say that shit? And he got his own damn group of people doing the same damn shit.
Some, and that's why I said Phil needs to get the heck out of there. Why are you there? You
I told you, Dea.
represented there. I just don't understand that. I mean,
Phil is there because Phil knows it's like I said earlier. It's like keep your friends close and your enemies closer, because he sees all the moves and how they make them, and that's how.
What is he doing? He's growing Keely's power.
Well,
Keely done got
it
bigger and
looks.
bigger with that game of wars because of Phil's help.
It does look that way, and I understand. I agree what you're saying, but at the same time, he's getting that inside intel where he sees how things are going. That's how they're able to make the decisions to make them look stupid, even though he doesn't tell them directly in their face. That's what I feel. Plus, Keely also pays them money for their venue. They make money off of it. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's a rambling and rumor saying that they're supposed to be making some big announcements this year, particularly this year. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, maybe they're just trying to do again what they did the last few years where, okay, you didn't want to elect our games? No problem. We're going to drop bombs and make your whole show irrelevant, and we're still going to get all the attention. You see what I'm trying to say?
Now, that is a power Microsoft now has, that when they move, everybody pays attention.
Because you know they did that when they announced Hellblade. You know they did that when they announced the console there. The entire conversation was about Hellblade when they did it that year. And the entire conversation was about the Xbox console when they announced it in the Game Awards. You see? Last year was the first time they didn't make no announcements, but they did their show in January, which pretty much made up for them not having any presence in the award, because it was way better for us as the fans of Xbox when they dropped the Hi-Fi Rush. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the 2 years before that, or 3 years, he shut it down, and that's what they should continue to do. Okay, you want to use our venue and you want to keep acting like we're stupid? Just keep dropping bombs, because if he could make the conversation still about Xbox when it's supposed to be about the awards and how they made their biased decisions and choices, then that still proves that they can use it as a platform in their way, in a positive way, and it's going to make Jeff Keighley look stupid, and then he can't say nothing, because what he's going to say? Oh, you can't make announcements here? He can't do that.
Yeah, he can't, right.
You see what I'm trying to say? He can't tell them, because then if he does that there, what is that going to do? That's going to ultimately prove 1,100% that they're biased.
Well, then he can pull the venue. He don't have to have anything hosted there.
Yeah, but he's not going to do that. He can't afford any other venue there. He can't. Yeah, he gets that venue because they give him a good price. He can't afford. He cannot.
Phil can do that. It's only so far Keely can go to get on.
That's what I'm saying. Side, right? That's what I'm saying. But it's like the numbers of viewership, right? The reason why it's a lot of viewership, and I didn't know that until my boys told me. He counts, like, let's say if you're streaming it right there, or let's say Ninja was streaming it. You know, Ninja has over 135 million subscribers, right? If Ninja's streaming the Game Awards, he counts the viewerships of how many people is watching the show through Ninja's platform.
Okay.
So if Ninja had 30 million people watching, he counts that. That's how he got that number of over 135 million people viewed the show. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that they come to Twitch
correctly.
where you're
Yeah.
airing it and you get that amount of viewership on actual Twitch. You see what I mean, huh? So again, it's them skewing the numbers because that's why Unlimited, what he said was true. Because if that was the case, then he would have been gotten offers and deals through regular TV because it's still the biggest platforms to get the biggest viewerships based off casuals. You see? So he would do it on like a national TV night, like they do the Oscars or like they do the Emmys or or the Super Bowl. If they were making those kind of numbers, because that's a lot of money involved, and that's why it's not true. He skews the numbers and he counts the viewership from influencers. If they say, "Oh, this many people watched it on my channel," he counts that, and that's not how it's supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, he knows he's stuck, and the only way he can do it is like that, and that's why he keeps him there. He keeps him in the committee. But I agree 100% with you. I wish Phil would be like, you know what, Chile, you can't use our venue anymore because due to certain circumstances and clauses, and we can't let you host it there because then what Jeff Keighley's gonna do?
All I can say is I'm gonna say these two things. I'll be quiet about it.
No,
I say that what I think Phil should do is support other award shows. I don't care how small they are.
Make them bigger. Yeah, they make them bigger.
Yes, make them bigger. That's how you do it. You raise the ones that are small that can't.
Like the Joystick Award. Hey,
yes,
suggest to them.
Steam has awards. Steam and Gabe and Phil has a good relationship. They got awards that's going on right now. You got awards from BAFTA and all. It's other places they can support. So
suggest to them. Hey, why don't you guys do a whole show? You could do it in our venue.
Yeah,
televise it. I agree.
Some things at those other ones.
Yeah, I agree.
That's one thing I think they should do. And second, I think I understand what you're saying about why he does what he does. I would say that Phil should just make that clear to the people who work for him, because again, I keep going back to this. Rare was hurt by how they were overlooked by their own colleagues.
You saw that, right?
Yes, and that's not
that was
fair
great
to his developers and his people. So if he's going to keep supporting them people, he should at very least talk to his own
developers and publishers
and see how they feel too.
Going on.
Yeah.
Yes, because that matters. Because they get demoralized and they again, these people are excellent at making.
But you know what I'm thinking,
the greater gaming industry. They're good.
You know,
at making you feel.
You know what I'm also thinking about that, Dea, because you brought up a very good point. I'm thinking, since Phil is like the head of Xbox, and if he ends up talking, people try to skew it or change it, like, oh, look how unprofessional Phil Spencer is. Look what he did.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I got you. I got
and what he's
Ebot.
doing is, what he probably did was, he probably told his developers, you guys can speak on it. We're okay. Both speak on it. And that's why Rare opened their mouth.
Hey,
what about it? They did that.
Right.
It could be. It's a possibility.
Rare deserves to be on there.
Absolutely. That Sea of Thieves for ongoing games should be the #1 elected game on there.
Yes, I'm one of the owners. I bought that game before I even got on Game Pass. But
I'm glad they called them out. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Beautiful game. It's gorgeous. It's well done.
No, but it was beautiful that they called out Keighley directly. You saw that. They say, hey, Jeff, I guess you forgot about us with all the things that we've been doing in community night, huh?
Hey, Hebot.
That was fantastic. Yeah, my brother. How you doing?
Hey, good. Hey, listen up. What Dia is talking about and what you're saying is true. You keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. But what Dia is referencing is something I'm actually definitely 100% going to write Phil Spencer about. And he actually reads me when I address him.
Okay.
You can keep those son of a bitches close, but it comes to a point where you're going to erode the confidence of the people that work for you.
Yes.
And case in point, everybody swearing down Phil jumped off the ledge and said, hey, we fucked up Redfall. Phil Spencer, the first thing he said was,
he never said that.
He thought we had a good product. It rated in the 8s in our rating system. But at any rate, what Phil is going to do, because that lady It was people that cried at Redfall. But
Yeah, I
it's
heard,
and you can't continue to offer Keeley more power, just like Dia said. You're actually
Mhm.
feeding a monster. And even though they're knocking them down, and eventually Sony don't have a leg to stand on. They actually on fire. But you have to keep the confidence in that locker room. And the
Oh yeah.
more you keep feeding Jeff Keighley, hey man, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. If it were me, I would have Game Pass commercials
Yep.
on
Yeah.
VGAs and
Yep.
give them nothing, just
Yeah.
like they did
Yeah.
last year. I wouldn't give them nothing because it's starting to, when you make somebody as pure as Dia mad, it it definitely makes the rest of the community mad. Okay, I've been mad about it, but I'm a marketer and I understand these things. And
Right.
like what you were talking about, about the bugs of a Bethesda game, those weren't in the console game. Those are
Yeah, it was
PCs because
PCs. Yeah.
just because PCs have so many different configurations.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Everyone
I know
doesn't
that.
have the same parts. With the
Yeah.
consoles, you have all the same parts. This is what makes Dia's hate for Spider-Man being nominated even more
Well,
magnified.
those are
Here,
also the details that people don't talk about, like a Dustin,
correct. They
because
don't talk about
because
this.
it's a fact. It is a fact. Other thing that a lot of these PC dudes, right? They know what it says. In order for you to run Starfield, these are your specs, and this is what you need, right?
He bought not only that, it's that like Spider-Man have all of these bugs. There's no excuse for that. You have one medium
One
that you,
platform.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
you're
I know, I know,
you
I know
you
that,
have
I know that.
you
But
have one
that's what I'm trying to get at.
you
That a
have
lot of these
one
PC
medium.
guys that'll do these things,
Here,
and
let me
they know
get.
they're supposed
I
to
got
run
you,
a certain
Hebot.
way,
I got you, Hebot.
right?
That's not
Let me
true,
finish
Bob,
what you're
because I
saying.
had friends who upgraded their PCs just to
Oh no,
play
no, no! But I'm
Spider-Man.
saying
Here,
they won't follow it. I'm talking about the people like YouTubers. They
I
won't
got you,
follow
Hebot.
suit,
Let me go ahead
and
and
then
say
they'll be
this,
like,
and I'm gonna
"Oh, the
get
game
out.
is broken," and it's really because they didn't do what they were
he
supposed to do
he
on their end.
he bought. Let me get you right here. And
Mhm.
here's what makes me mad about the people that rate Xbox games. They're reviewing it from the PC perspective.
Perspective, yes.
What they do not have is the PC configuration over at the Xbox division. They don't have that same PC. So when they have bugs, it gets glorified and magnified as everybody is having this bug.
Everybody, yeah, and
Just
that's not
Oh
because
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody
Absolutely.
let me finish. Just because they have a 4090 don't mean you have the same power supply, the same
Yep.
motherboard, or the same
Memory.
memory, the same RAM. It's
Mhm.
not all the
Mhm.
same. It's so
Uh-huh.
many varying
That's my
configurations.
point. Other thing, that's my point.
Hold on. This is my entire point. But back to what Dia was talking about, Spider-Man. There is no excuse for Spider-Man to be buggy. You have one single medium to make this game.
Plus, Spider-Man is
Now,
a single-player game.
not only that,
Spider-Man is not a
it's
sophisticated RPG.
not only that, it's only made for one thing
One
that's
platform,
very
right?
consistent. The
Mhm.
PC is very inconsistent. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that the Xbox Series X is more powerful than a great PC. That is not. But when you have all of you just what you have to do is fall back and listen to these people that rate the Xbox game. Listen to the PC that they have. They always
Yeah,
have
not
some
them
whack.
people. Yeah.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
always have some wacky configuration,
Mhm.
and
That's what I said.
they can't figure out why there's work. That's why I tell people if you listen to someone that reviews a game, see what they reviewed it off of. Well, it's a PC. The PC is supposed to be more powerful than an Xbox. Hey, bro, it is, but the Xbox is one singular entity
Zink, I want to add.
that you
I want
only
to add
make.
to what you just said.
But hold on. The point I'm making is everybody, just like Dia is so hot right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone that's in the chat, watch who rates these games because they're operating off of an inconsistent ass PC that game is not made for your game. The one thing that held Forza back so much is they were trying to answer every single PC platform, and it's just damn near impossible to do.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. People try and make their own PC. They buy a part from Walmart, a part from Walgreens, a part from Tuckmaster in his tunnel that he's broadcasting from. They buy
That's
another
what I
piece
was
from
saying, brother
they
Zink.
buy
That's what I
another
was
piece
saying. That
from
a
the
lot of these
cigarette shop,
influencers.
and then you have this jackass Paris Lilly and the rest of his crew playing it from a PC that Xbox didn't make, and they want to base their theory off of all of that. Dude, everybody, you should hear the thanks I get for telling people just play Redfall on your Xbox.
Right.
Just
Absolutely.
do it. And then I said, play it for
there. Yeah.
play it for 3 hours, and you will see what I'm talking about.
It's smooth.
Well, that's what I was trying to point out to Zink.
Yeah.
That a lot of these YouTube influencers, right? Just like you
they
said,
trash,
brother.
dude. It
Just like you
burns me
said.
up. But hey,
They'll
but I gotta
fucking
get out of
go,
here.
right? They'll go and say, "Oh, it's running horribly on the PC," and then when you go look at their configurations, or a lot of times they don't even tell you their configuration.
They don't tell you anything.
It's not running with the configurations that they're supposed to have.
No, and then even if it is, they have different parts that they got off of Google or they got off of AOL.
Right, not as good as other parts. Right.
Or they felt, hey man, I'll let you use this. This is just as good. Oh, it's 20 years old. That's okay. We'll use it anyway.
Fact. That's a fact.
You
I
know?
think that's why me and you get along since day one. Because we call out the bullshit. We don't play that shit.
Hey, before I get out of here, let me fall back on you, Hebot, to something that you said. You were talking about Hi-Fi Rush Unlimited's game. I never played the game. I got something to eat, and I sat down and watched Unlimited play this game in intervals. Okay. But back to Hi-Fi Rush. The media took that game. They took their aggression out on everything that came after that. You're not going to allow us to review this game so we can muddy the waters for people. You just going to shadow drop it and not give it to us first? I don't give a damn what game you make, Xbox. I'm going to take a dump on it.
That's right.
When you could take a dump on Forza, you can take a dump on your mama. Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to hear it. Hey man. Hey, I got to get out of here, guys. But y'all have a good show,
Zink,
man.
how much you want to bet, brother Zink?
Yeah.
Before you leave, how much you want to bet if Microsoft continued to do that, giving all their games out to the media after they release? No one in the media would be able to trash on their game.
No, hey, Hebot, and Unlimited and I had a back and forth about this, and he's partly right. Sometimes you have to allow the media to have something, but here's how you mitigate that. You pass that game out to everybody. Okay, you advertise that game through your channels, and you make them right, dear. You make them look at that game along with all of us, and then just drop that game in people's face.
Yeah,
you know, because they won't have a chance. They'll be they'll be trying to walk on that tightrope, and they don't know which way they can't.
It's like they're drowning in water. Yep.
Yeah, correct.
The philosophy.
Hey man, y'all keep having a good show. I should leave a bit on here.
Yes, sir, brother.
All right, man.
Hey, Nick, my apologies. I forgot to even say Happy Thanksgiving to you, my brother.
Oh, man, same to everybody else. But the last thing, and I think other people in the chat heard me say that, and the main thing that Destin, Paris, Ryan McCaffrey, and all of the media, the one thing that they don't do, they don't respect the people that they're listening to. And we most of us have had kids. It's like Destin Ligarius playing the airplane game with the kids, dear. You remember when you were trying to get your kids to eat those nasty ass Gerber peas, and you just like, meow, and you trying to make it like you gonna eat this bullshit? That's what they doing to us. They act like we're not adults. They think we're stupid, bruh. You're talking to adults that have lives, children. We're not. We don't fall for anything, and that's
what burns me up about Xbox too.
And they trying to feed us them Gerber ass peas.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. You know what else pisses me off about Xbox? When they always have our brother, our brother Paris. When they do updates for Flight Simulator, he's always the one that hosts it. When he don't even like the game.
The guy don't play it.
He don't like the game.
He bought. Listen to this, and I got to get out of here. Diaz, Diaz favorite. Diaz is his favorite. Ramo has literally spent over $1,000 on Flight Simulator, and he said when he saw Paris, he turned it off. He didn't even watch the special because of Paris. He was like, "I'm out." The shit's no elite. That's some shit's no elite would do. When he sees somebody like Patrick Wren or Jason Schreier on the Iron Lords, you could look in the chat and he'll say, "Oh, I'm out, gone. Never see this dude again." We don't have time for that stuff. It's like Dia fantastically said some time ago. I don't want to have to go to that site to watch Phil Spencer talk. I don't want to do it.
Right.
That's right.
Man, I got to get out of here. I'll see y'all next time.
Be good, brother.
All right,
peace.
Hey guys, I'd like to ask Dea a quick question here, real quick.
Go right ahead.
Dea, I want your opinion on this, and then I want Bots, and then T Reaper, if I know T Reaper is still here. But Dea,
Make it juicy. Make it juicy.
I will, man. I will. Dea, what do you think? I want your real, honest opinion about this. And this is actually a very serious for Sony. What do you think, Dea, about Sony really being sued? What do you think about that?
I think that's the fallout from the ABK deal, based on the things that I've heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that first off, it was a great opportunity for the CMA to actually address some of the issues with Sony. I found it shocking that they were going so hard after Microsoft, seeing that they have such a smaller percentage of the market. Yeah. And was, like I said, Sony was useful idiots during that for both the CMA and the FTC. They needed somebody because nobody else was stepping out there, opposing Microsoft on this. They were all okay with it. Usually it was kind of like a silent kind of agreement that if somebody was acquiring something, you just kind of
real quick. What was the question? I missed the question. What was the question? That you're answering. The question you're answering. What was it?
I asked Dea, what does she feel, and what's her true opinion, and how she feels about Sony being sued.
Okay, that's it. Never mind. Sorry, Dea.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, I think that it's a byproduct of the ABK deal, and like I said, I always thought that I already knew some of these practices that Sony did. I think obviously through the deal, as things came out more, I thought, well, gosh, the CMA got to be concerned about some of these practices that we are learning that we kind of had some suspicions of, but nobody had the proof. But that proof was coming out through that whole case, because again, Sony was, they put themselves in that. Nobody told them to put themselves in that. And like I said, they became the useful idiots because the FTC and the CMA didn't have anyone else. And like I said, in the gaming industry, up until then, everybody kind of, unless it was something really egregious, everybody kind of stood out of each other's way when they acquired. You almost never heard of another company getting in the middle of it. Almost never. Okay. Yeah. Because they understood nobody really liked the regulators because, they try to just get more power over you and stuff, right? So, what they do is necessary, but businesses just by nature don't like regulation, right? So a lot of times in the gaming industry, they just kind of step to the side and let a person acquire. That's okay. We don't need to ruffle the waters here. But Sony did that. They opened that can of worms, and now that can't be redone. So everybody understands what Sony has done. They put a magnifying glass to the entire industry. This is not going away. And now what happened, as I suspected would happen, once all of this was done, they're going to turn their attention to, I knew Apple was going to be looked at hard. They were already looking for ways to get at Apple, and they're going to do it. Apple is not going to come into the gaming industry smooth, guys. I'm just letting you guys know that. They're not, because they're too big too. They're another Microsoft in the eyes of the regulators. Yeah. But Sony, with their stuff being exposed, they're not happy with them either because they are a monopoly. And in that court document with the people suing Sony, that's what was stated in there was that they're from the CMA that they're considered a near monopoly. I think that was the term that they used. A near
Yeah.
monopoly, meaning that they're like practically a monopoly. I guess that near is probably there because you have to look at Nintendo a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But if that's how they are thinking, now Sony understands what the regulators actually think of what they saw. And they got some problems on their hands. What this has effectively done, it has shut them out of acquiring anything. Don't expect, this whole spiel that they, we're not going to acquire. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing and getting third-party deals. And all. They ain't got no choice. They know good and well. If they try to go after anything big now, they're done for. Okay, so it's too late. They made it almost impossible for acquisitions.
Well, now I know why they stopped supporting KOTOR.
Why is that?
You didn't see that they said that the game that was originally called Project E by the Korean developer, supposedly
Project Eve.
the claim was that, it's like with this girl, it's like action, it's like Bayonetta. That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay, like a
the name of it originally was Project Eve. It was a multi-plat. Then Sony paid for exclusivity, and now we found out that the exclusivity was going to be timed. So yesterday or 2 days ago, they made the announcement that now they're helping them fund it and publish it so that it won't come to Xbox, and that's why they dropped KOTOR.
I see.
They're not saying it publicly, but now it makes sense because KOTOR is an older game. But that game is a new game. So, they want that they want that perception of, look, we got this badass action game. You don't got it, Xbox.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be multi-plat. Look it up on the YouTube when you get a chance. It's called Project Eve. I think it's called Stellar Blade now.
Oh, Stellar Blade. Okay.
I've
heard of it. I just don't know what it looks like. I haven't kept up with it. Well, so I guess that's what they're going to do then. They're going to keep, they're going to have to do that because it's not, see, this is the thing. It's not going to affect Microsoft. The narrative, yes,
no. Absolutely not. I mean,
you're going to have
we got fucking Indiana Jones, Hellblade, Contraband. I mean,
exactly. We're going to be, but
it's not like we're not eating well, right?
The weak Xbox guys are going to have a hissy fit and all that. We don't have Stellar Blade. We need our own Stellar Blade. Just expect that to come, okay? But we're going to be doing fine over here. And Microsoft also got their deals. They haven't even nobody knows about. They got plenty of them over there in Japan and elsewhere. I think. Look, Phil is good at one thing. He's good at keeping some things to the vest. And he hasn't shown us his full deck yet. Okay, so we've only seen some things. There's some games we only heard through leaks that he still hasn't mentioned. He still hasn't officially mentioned these games. So, so that's all I wanted to say on that. But yeah, that's my perception of them being sued. I think this is bad for Sony. This is more money that they have to spend on this lawsuit. If the regulators are getting involved, that doesn't pose well for them, in my opinion. Now we'll have to see where this goes. But now that the regulators have gotten their eyes on this, like I said, it has elevated the case because they could have just paid these people off and been done with it. But either way, Sony is spending money they don't have. They're now tied up in a new case. And you know what? Don't be surprised if Microsoft had to show up there because who do they own? Activision.
Yeah.
They own Activision. And you know what? There's a lot of secrets and things they know from that end now. So you know what? That the very people that they tried to prevent from getting an acquisition to gaining anything might be the very people that they call in there.
Yep.
It's a high possibility of that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, when I heard about that day, I was like, wow, this is real, man. I mean, I think they were in the court before and getting sued, but this is very serious, man. I mean, yeah, this is not a good thing for them right now.
It's serious because anytime you get the regulators involved, you saw how hard of a time they gave Microsoft.
Oh yeah. Well,
and that's from experts. Okay, Microsoft, I consider experts because they've been doing this. Dance with regulators for years, way longer than Sony. So
yeah, they're used to it. You're used to some of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hebot, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up,
brother?
Yes.
What is your opinion about that, brother? About Sony being sued, brother. What do you have to say about it, man? I want to hear your thoughts and opinion.
Well, I don't know the whole details. I know they got sued in Europe, right?
I think it was Europe, yeah.
Yes.
Because they were
EU regulators are, I think, start.
what
I
was it
think-
that they were doing? They were overcharging for games, right, in their store.
Yeah, no, they were funneling all they took away all of their product from any other store digital. We're not talking about physical here. And they made it to where the only place you can buy it is at their store, their online store. The problem is there's no competition. People can
Oh,
only buy
okay,
their
okay,
product.
okay. So basically, essentially, they're doing what they're doing with their movie division. Because if you guys didn't hear, they're going to give movie options in their console again, but it's going to be everything that Sony related, like only Sony movies
Yeah.
and Crunchyroll and the other one, Funimation, own and animes, since they own both of them and they monopolize that, even though nobody ever pulled it out.
Yeah.
Those two things, right, are only going to be available in their movies through a streaming app they're going to do on the PlayStation console, but only on their console. You can't get it anywhere else.
Then
So it's basically that.
That's going to be challenged because if they're already looking at this with the games, and by the way, this was anything DLC, all of that. It doesn't matter what it was. They didn't allow anybody. I don't care what the store was or if it
Oh,
was
so they didn't allow like GameStop or a Target
Nobody.
in other country, in that other country to sell it.
They stopped sending anything there and funnel everybody through their store. Where, from what I hear, Returnal still costs $70 to this day.
Jesus, really?
I know. See, that's the thing. They can dictate whatever prices. There's no
Right, because it's only in their stores, so you have no
Right.
choice. Oh, you don't
Right.
like it? Too bad.
But see, Microsoft doesn't do that. You can get CD keys from whatever, and you can see their digital stuff all over. They don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what they did. Okay, well, I mean, what can I say? They got caught. I think it is unfair practices. I think it's unfair to the consumers. But at the same time, in a way, I'm like, you know what? Since if it wasn't the European market, they kind of deserve it because they've been sucking on Sony for a while. See what I'm saying? They're the type of people that are like, oh, they swear up and down Xbox sucks and Xbox is anti-consumer when they're not, clearly. And they've been sucking on Sony for a while. So it's good that they got treated that way. And it's good that Sony got caught. And now they got to pay the consequences because that just exposes, like Dea says, how anti-consumer and greedy and slick they really are, or think that they slick, right? But again, you know, if you keep supporting that type of company and you're happy with it, then you kind of get what you deserve, right?
Yeah.
In that sense, that's how I look at it. I'm not going to have sympathy or empathy for somebody. Okay, and I don't mean to sound like fucked up because it could be a situation where a person could be afraid, right? And they don't have the courage to fight back. But there's a lot of situations where, like, let's say a wife, right? Or a girlfriend. They're in relationships that their boyfriends treat them like shit, beat on them, and even though they know they can step away, they don't. So you can't complain if you keep on liking it and letting him get away with it if he needs to be in jail, because you're a human being and you deserve to be treated right.
Right.
But if you keep on letting it happen and when the cops come, instead of you going to say, yeah, he hit me, and then his ass burned, you say, no, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Then you kind of get what you deserve. See what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I don't mean it to sound fucked up because I know there's a lot of women out there and men too that they're just afraid to fight back. I get it. But if they're not and they just let it happen because they just, oh, I just love him. No. That's bullshit. A person loves you, they're not going to keep beating on you. That's not love.
That's
They're
right.
not going to keep calling you a piece of shit and curse at you and treat you like you ain't shit. That's not love. I don't care what it is. That's not love. And people are human beings. You got to balance it. So for me, that's how I look at it with the consumers in Europe. Okay, if you guys want to keep sucking on Sony, then don't cry when they get caught that they're treating you like shit, that they're limiting your options, and that they're really not treating you with respect as their fan base or as gamers, because you get what you deserve. You reap what you sow, and if you choose to eat where somebody else is shitting, that's your business. That you deserve it. That's on you.
Yeah.
You know, and again, is Sony fucked up for doing that? Of course they are. But if they think they can get away with it and the people let them get away with it, then what do you think they're going to do? Right?
Yeah. They've been doing it for years.
They've been doing it since their inception. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what? That's why you remember, you know how you and E-Rock, brother Sega Man, you know how you and E-Rock always say, oh yeah, the best console on PlayStation was the PS2?
Yeah.
And I say, fuck that. None of their consoles were, because even with the PS2, the reason why they fucking had all those games, because they mudsling Sega out of the business with Dreamcast.
True.
Because they fear-mongered all those developers, telling them that the Dreamcast didn't have a life cycle span. Like, in other words, it wasn't powerful enough to do great games for the whole generation. When we clearly see now in 2023 that that's bullshit with the Nintendo Switch. Right?
Yeah.
Because the Nintendo Switch is super anemic compared to the Xbox Series X, S, or the PlayStation 5. And yet it's having massive success, and developers are making their games on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that proves that it didn't matter. And that's what Sony did in that generation. They told developers, oh, that console doesn't have a lifespan. It's not strong enough to last a generation. You guys should come with us. And they paid and convinced developers to take upcoming exclusives that were going to be there for the Dreamcast and put it on PS2.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, to the people that may or may not know, Devil May Cry was one of those titles.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
Castlevania. Why do you think Konami stopped working on it? For that same reason. The Castlevania that was never released.
Yeah.
Because they fear-mongered those developers. And they're like, oh, no, forget it. And what happened? Publishers and developers started dropping contracts with Sega, with the Dreamcast, even though they had all that success with their launch. And people were buying the console.
Yeah.
And then when you go see the games that they had versus the Xbox, for example, versus Dreamcast, for example, when you played Ferrari, Dead or Alive 2,
yeah, on Dreamcast,
a bunch of games that were also on PlayStation 2,
way better.
And they can play the Dreamcast version. The Dreamcast version is way better than the PS2 version.
Yep.
Which tells you that the console was way more capable. The internal hardware of the Dreamcast was literally an arcade motherboard.
Yep, the Naomi.
Which was the Naomi.
Yep.
It was the Naomi. And if they did a revision of it, if it lasted longer, they would have just implemented Naomi 2, which was the second version that was more powerful.
Yeah.
So the Dreamcast had more than enough capabilities to last the entire generation. But because of Sony, their ways, they fucked that up. That's why I hate Sony. And that's why I've always said I don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about nobody. They have done nothing for the industry but ruining the industry. Because of them, we don't have companies like Sega that were innovative, that were actually doing good hardware and good games and good unique ideas and new IPs.
Mm-hmm.
Because they couldn't afford it. They didn't have the pocket to compete with fucking Sony.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, that's why I've always said, I respect your guys' opinion, but that's why I don't give a fuck about the PS2. Any generation. I think Sony's all the generations with dog shit. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. But if you ask me why, I'm going to give you the explanation. I'm not just saying it because for the sake of saying it. You see, like people say, I hate Xbox. I hate the OG. I hate Dreamcast, or I hate 360. And then when you ask them, but why? Because they're not better than Sony. That's not an explanation. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the difference between someone else that you may ask, or someone like myself. You asking me, I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna give you an explanation. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah, fuck them. Like fuck them. Like they did it. It's fucked up. I'm glad they got caught. I'm glad they're gonna have to get sued and pay these people back. But at the same token, the people that supported them, listen, you get what you deserve for supporting this stupid ass company and don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
It's that simple. That's just my opinion. My thoughts.
Thank you, Hebot. Thank you, man. Tuck left, right? Yeah, Tuck's gone.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tuck's gone. T, you still there, brother?
Yeah, I am.
Brother, real quick, because we're probably going to end the show here in a few minutes here. What is your thoughts on that, man? About Sony is, they're in trouble, man. They're being sued, man. What's your thoughts on that?
It serves them right.
Well, like
if it really goes down 7.9 and Microsoft made that much money in 6 months this year, I'm sorry. I think you're kind of in trouble.
T Reaper, that's what Microsoft paid for Activision. Bars.
Yeah, that's exactly what they paid for it. So it's kind of well, no, not necessarily. They paid $70 billion, and Sony's about to lose almost $8 billion. So
they paid that much for Bethesda, I believe. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Around that.
Yeah, I think so.
The ZeniMax or whatever.
Yeah.
But now they're making a joke that Tencent is going to come after Sony.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting if if they allow them to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
If Tencent swallows Sony, then no more Sony.
Sony be gone. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tencent is huge. Yeah, it'll be gone. Yeah. Well, hey, Hebon, if you're listening, man, Dea is a really good connoisseur of Alien Fire Team, so we got to get her on tonight with us, man. If we play.
Oh wait, Dea, you've been rocking on Alien before?
Yes, I have. I'm an Alien fan,
expert,
so.
brother.
I didn't know. Damn, that game is pretty dope. That game is pretty dope.
I can be Doc, Demolisher, Technician. I'm good.
Oh man,
you see, and then let me tell you, that game feels really true to the essence of Alien.
It does, yeah.
I really didn't realize how
it's that good.
How hardcore it is to the Alien mythos.
They really paid attention to all the movies and they interweaved it all into one narrative.
Good.
That's awesome. I love that game.
Yeah, me too.
I love that game. Aliens is my favorite movie out of you know how they like Predator. Mine was
Predator and Aliens go hand in hand. Yeah, I love Aliens and I just anything Aliens I love it because I don't know, that just takes me back, but I absolutely love it. And that, in my opinion, I was really impressed with the game because of the lore and how they weaved everything together. Even the sound in the music and stuff, they pulled a lot of that from the Aliens movie from so they did really good.
I noticed even when you do the second mission and you're trying to save that guy,
right?
He was talking about, oh my God, no! When the big alien comes, what did I do? He keeps on saying, "Oh look, it's Maria."
It's
basically
Monica.
When they were saying, or Martha, where he was saying that the big ones are basically human beings that get consumed and then turned into aliens.
Right.
And they even go as far as throwing those things in there, and you hear his agony, his hurt, because it's somebody that he was close to.
A woman, yeah.
As you're fighting. And I thought that attention to detail, I thought was really dope. I was like,
really
shit, that's pretty dope.
Oh, wait a minute. Google Pop plays that too? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Oh man, I gotta get in some games with you then. I did not. I had been looking. The reason why I couldn't keep players in there because people were saying it's too hard. It's too much work. It is sweaty, bit because it's the aliens pour out of every crevice.
Man, they come out.
Have a good team,
They come out in droves.
Yes.
What?
You got to be good. You got to know your character well, and you got to play tactical with your team in there. They got to know what they're doing.
Hey, Dea and Hebot, guess what?
Smitty plays too. I'm gonna have to get your gamer tag, Smitty. I don't think I have you.
Hebot, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Hebot, Dea, guess what? I just seen this.
Mhm.
It's saying here, I just seen it come up on my phone. It says Sony reportedly is preventing Epic Games from passing savings on to customers.
Yeah, I did hear about that. They locked Epic Games to a higher price so that they won't be competitive against Sony.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
There was
So-
also another rumor too that supposedly there's some leaked documents that Sony's trying to file for bankruptcy.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Xbox All In.
that's what I meant by them going bankrupt by 2020.
Yeah, I saw
Is
that.
that from a reliable source though? Because I don't
Well,
know.
it's a rumor. It's a rumor, but let's say if it's true, then what we've been saying, it's coming to fruition because it's not looking good. It's just been
It's
negative,
looking really-
negative.
It's
And that
spooky
would
out there.
explain why a lot of the the head CEOs of the developing teams that they have, like the guy from the Returnal, the developer, he left the head from there, and one of the heads from Naughty Dog also left too. That would explain why they're jumping ship. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Because they see the writing on the wall, what's going on behind closed doors. Jim Ryan,
The smart
the
ones are
guy
getting
that's-
out of there. Yeah.
there's just a lot of controversy going on right now to think that there's nothing wrong with Sony and that there's not some hardship going on. Like you got to be really foolish to think that they're okay.
I know.
KOTOR, we just dropped KOTOR, so that means they had to drop KOTOR to
Mhm.
fund another game because when they were supposedly funding all of the projects. That means there's some
What's crazy is
financial
that-
issues.
That's not even sustainable because look how they're shuffling money from one place to the other just to guarantee it doesn't show up on Xbox. You think Xbox cares about that? They're not even done acquiring.
Right.
So this is ridiculous. We don't even know what. I think next year they're going to announce some more studios. That's my belief. I think they're going to announce it next year
I can believe that.
because I don't think Microsoft wants to wait. I think they only waited this long because ABK took too long. So they're not going to care about that. Let them have Stellar Blade. They're going to have like 5 new studios by next year.
And
On
here's
top
the
of
thing,
everything
Dale.
else they have,
There, you know what else, darling? What the other point is too of what you just said? I guarantee you that Stellar Blade doesn't sell.
Okay, I want to see that.
They don't buy. Did Returnal sell? No.
No, that didn't.
Did Days Gone sell? Not really.
No.
Not the
Well,
numbers that
It did
people
over
expect.
a long period. It
but
didn't right away.
it's
though.
diminished returns.
Yeah,
Once a game sells because it's $20 or $40 on sale from a $70 price point, that's
Mhm.
called diminished returns. That means they're just selling it to getting it out to the people to create a bigger audience, bring awareness, but the game's not making them profit. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're not making them profit, that means it's diminished returns. So again, I guarantee you that it won't sell.
That's a fundamental problem too. You bring up Hebot. I'm glad you brought that up. Is
Mhm.
that's kind of a problem for Sony because on one end they want all those numbers and they don't really care who buys a PlayStation 5, right? But on the other end, the casuals have chosen their box. We know this. But the problem with that is casuals don't buy anything. They buy only those select games. That's it.
Right.
And none of them are PlayStation games. None of them.
Well, look at the bundle that's selling. The bundle that's selling is the Call of Duty.
Call of
It's
Duty
not the,
one.
it's not
Yeah,
the
and that's
Spider-Man
Microsoft.
bundle.
That's a Microsoft type. So I'm like, what do they do? Because you can never rely on the casuals. You cannot do that. Yes, they may buy your console. This is why Microsoft doesn't care about the console. They care about the software. So when they get engagement, they know that person's a gamer. Because if they have Game Pass and they're playing a lot of different games and titles and stuff, that's a gamer. Okay, because they're trying and dabbling into a lot of different things, whether it's they do watch the PC side as well as the console side. So
Right.
I get stuff that pops up all the time when I'm on console or PC, so I get, it doesn't matter what side I'm on. So but yeah, they're monitoring both sides there. And I think that you know, you might be onto something that nobody's going to buy, because how are they going to convince the casual to buy it? How are they going to do that?
Yeah.
Those numbers, they
Right.
can never rely on those numbers. So it has to be a true number that they know they can rely on. And I don't think it's good enough, because they've been scrambling trying to do gas games.
Right. Well, I personally think that they took Stellar Blade and decided to fund it and develop it, because that tells me that more than likely, and you guys can quote me next year, because you know when I say something, 95% of the time comes out the way I say it. Okay? Don't quote me on it, right? But you guys are my witness. I'm saying it now. I have a feeling they're just trying to get a game to compete next year against Hellblade 2. I think Hellblade 2 is coming
That
up
might
next
be
year.
true. Just like Baldur's Gate was their counter to
Starfield. Right.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling, you know, that's the case, and that's why they're trying to secure it. So that way they don't feel like, oh yeah, but what's the point if it's going to Xbox? They're going to be able to play it later anyway. You see what I'm saying?
The problem
Yeah.
with that game, based on what you described, if it's like a what did you
It's like it's like Bayonetta.
Bayonetta, then that's a completely different game from Hellblade, though. Hellblade is nothing.
Well, it's still
closer
under the
to-
genre of hack and slash. That's why.
Yeah,
Like
but
hack and slash adventure. That's why.
but that's not what Hellblade is, though. Hellblade is anything, but it would be closer to a God of War, I would say, or something like that.
Well, you mean from the perspective of how you look, like the camera? I know what you're talking about. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. I know. Yeah, but it's still, what I'm saying is, it's still considered a hack and slash action adventure, even though it's more like a God of War as far as the camera and the way it looks. You see what I'm trying to say?
Right. In the
But
mythology that
with
goes into
Bayonetta,
it.
that style is she moves around more freely, right? Like Ninja Gaiden. So I would say like a Ninja Gaiden-esque type, but that's why. But it's still considered hack and slash action adventure. You get what I'm trying to say? Just the camera is not from behind the camera, but behind the character.
Right.
It's just more free roaming. But I know exactly what you mean, love. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, because you're dealing with mythos and mythology, and same in Hellblade as well. You're dealing with, you know,
yeah, you're talking about the setting, right?
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
From an
Yeah, no,
Icelander
yeah, Paradise Eve. The way I could explain it is, it looks like it's in the future Japan, like Neo Tokyo.
That's pretty different.
And it plays gameplay wise like a Devil May Cry, like a Bayonetta, like a Ninja Gaiden, like that. That's how it plays, like
you could,
or like a Soul.
Did it have like really good graphics? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's pretty graphics.
That's all the PlayStation people really care about is the graphics. That's all.
No, you're absolutely right. It has very eye candy graphics because it's a level based game. Yeah. Obviously, it's not open world; it's level based. But that can very well be another reason too, because again, they're graphic whores.
Right. And so far, I haven't seen anything that can hold up to what I'm seeing coming out of Ninja.
Oh no, graphically, it's nowhere near in the level of Hellblade, but it is a pretty game. Okay. You see what I'm talking about? Okay. It's Hellblade looks like it's gonna be,
crazy, man,
a game changer. Like it's gonna be on a different level type shit. But again, okay, it's like I told people, like if you play Alan Wake 2, even though the structure of it is a lot like, like let's say Resident Evil, right? Mm-hmm. But when you play the game, it does so many it has things of all their past games, like from Control, from Quantum Break, from Max Payne, from Resident Evil, from Alan Wake 1. It's an amalgamation of a bunch of things, right? Mm-hmm. In that game. But the way it looks, right? It looks like a true next generation leap from anything else. It's like Callisto Protocol. When you go play Callisto Protocol, God damn, that game looks crazy.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
but the reason why it looks that way there is because it's a level-based game at the end of the day. Right. Level-based games are not demanding because it's not computing graphics and rendering graphics in real time, the way that a open world game does. And that, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nice looking open world games, from Sunset to Red Dead to Starfield, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't look that realistic or that impressive because it's way too much information to compute in real time. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's why open world games can never look like that.
Like that, yeah.
Right. Not because they're incapable, but if you look at the open world games as a whole package, how everything looks, not just the characters, not just a certain section or a level, the whole thing, they're very impressive because they've gotten better. Shit. I think personally, for me, look at those games by those people that did Black Desert. The people who did Black Desert, look at the games like the upcoming Wukong or the upcoming game by Black Desert that it's like a Dragon's Dogma. Like it looks like it's set in that era. That shit looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Doki Doki. Like you seen Doki
Yeah,
Doki?
I did see that. Yeah, I did.
That
see
shit looks incredible.
Yeah.
And those are open world games.
Oh,
that shit looks jaw dropping. Like holy shit. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So again, open world games will get to that level, but the same way open world games are getting to that level, you're gonna see level-based single-player games get to a higher level also.
Right.
Because remember, look at the Matrix demo they showing off Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
That Matrix demo is jaw-dropping.
Yeah, big time.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So this is the direction that game graphics are getting to. You see what I'm saying? And to be honest, to make games look like real world, you probably need no more than 40 teraflops. You see what I'm saying? And which we're going to grow on that department as well. So gaming is just going to get better and bigger and more realistic as far as the creativity and the look and technology. The thing that is concerning is, will it be able to be sustainable? Because obviously, the more technically advanced they get, the more expensive it's going to get. And without the support, and without the people buying the games, how are they going to sustain it, Dea? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why Game Pass. That's why Game Pass makes a lot of fucking sense. Because Game Pass lets people play games without having to fear to have the experience that they have with something like Spider-Man 2. That is a game that was fucking super praised. It was super hyped. Then when they got their hands on it, they were disappointed.
Yep.
And they can't get back their $70.
Smoke and mirrors.
But with fucking Game Pass, you can throw a game like that on Game Pass, like Starfield. Try it out, and that's why Starfield's numbers are just continuing to grow, because more and more people play it without having to worry about paying up front, and they're like, oh hell no, I like this game, I'm buying. You see what I'm saying? It's a domino effect. That's what Game Pass creates, a domino effect, where one domino falls and keep falling, and people keep falling because it becomes a trend. People realize it becomes word of mouth. It's the new word of mouth without having the word of mouth. So, you want to do an analogy. That's what Game Pass is. And that's why Microsoft has had so much success. Because they're throwing shit in there like Pentiment, which normally nobody would probably just go out and buy unless you're hardcore and like those type of games. And then people try it and they're like, yo, Pentiment is a dope fucking game. And they buy it. Same thing like Grounded. Yo, Grounded is a dope fucking game. And they buy it. That is why Game Pass is a game changer. Period. Now, the downfall behind that is, okay, you streaming the game, you don't really own it. I get it. They take games out. I get it. But that's why you have the option to buy in. But again, they have to find a solution, because when you own something physically, it only lasts as well as you can take care of it as an owner. Because I got games from Dreamcast that look mint. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I bought them shits over 25 years ago, 30 years ago,
Yeah.
right? Because it's only gonna last as well as the person who owns it, as opposed to a digital game that if you lose your information for your freaking gamer tag, or if your gamer tag gets corrupted, or if your save gets corrupted, or if your thumb drive stops working, or your hard drive starts working, or the licenses get expired and they want to get greedy and be like, you know what? Nah, we're not gonna renew the license unless you give us more money. Look at Antstream. Antstream just lost every Warner Brother WB game. Everything from Rampage, Mortal Kombat, Total Carnage, Flash TVs, Spy Hunter, all those games that they own are gone from Antstream. It's like 20 fucking games, maybe 30, 40 games, because they said no. They wanted more money, and the guy from Antstream explained to them, look, I don't make money like that. I can't meet your demand. So, when people get greedy, right, which other companies do, Warner Brothers more of a movie studio versus a game studio, they're going to get greedy. And they're like, oh, you want to use RP? No problem. Mortal Kombat, no problem. You got to pay us. But they don't understand that Antstream is a subscription service that you charge you $30 for the year or $80 for lifetime. They're not getting continuous revenue. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The success of those streaming services only lasts based on how many people support it. That's why I said support it, because it's not a bad investment. If you pay $30 for the year, that's a very good deal. If you pay $80 for lifetime, that's an incredible deal, because it stays with you forever for any console you own, or until you die, right? So that's not a bad bargain. But people don't see it that way. But it's the risk versus the reward, right?
Mhm.
That's just, it comes with the territory. So it all depends on you as a gamer. Do you want to buy digital or do you want to buy physical? That's what I usually do is I'll buy every game physical first to support the physical medium, right? so that it lasts and it continues to last, right? And then when I see the game on sale, on a digital sale, I'll buy the game also and double down when the game is on sale digitally. And I own it both ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I usually do it. Not every game, but a nice amount. I have a nice, because digitally, our library digitally right now is like 2,300 games
Mm-hmm.
for the entire household, meaning me and my sons.
Yeah.
We have over 2,300 games. That's our full library for Xbox. That's just Xbox. But
2,300.
but physically, Reaper asked me earlier, physically, I think we own maybe 3,500 copies. About 3,500.
Where do you store them all?
Easy. In shelves, in bins, but they take up space. But if you know how to consolidate, like I have all my games in one spot. Everything's in one area, one spot.
Very cool.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But again,
Oh, we lost Ebot. Well, guys, we're gonna get going. When Ebot comes back, we'll do our outros because it's getting kind of late. And I see you in here, Sega Forever. I'm not doing no marathon like you, brother.
You letting him down. He's looking for an apprentice. You letting him down.
I'm down. No. You got that, Sega Forever, my brother from another mother. You got it, man. I can't do it. Not no.
The marathon cut short this time though. It didn't last quite as long. You're the man, Sega Forever. I can't do it. No, I cannot do it. Even though I enjoyed having Dea here and Hebot and everybody, I can't do it. Those long podcasts, man. I think one time, didn't Sega Forever go 5 hours? I think he broke a Guinness World Record.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Did you see what he wrote? Sega Forever. I'm not
3 more hours.
No. Man. No way, brother. You got that, brother. You got that, man. And Dan, and they can hang with you in there too. And I can't do it. No. Man. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving day. How was your Thanksgiving day?
It was good. It was nice and relaxing. I couldn't complain.
Nice. Well, you know what, guys? We're gonna get on out of here. I think he's gonna try to come back, but we're gonna get out of here. Dea probably wants, and Dea, I want you to come and play. I'm gonna talk to Hebot. You can play with us on the Xbox with your PC, right?
Yeah, it's crossplay. Yeah.
How do we have? Does he just has to invite you through your gamer tag? Does he have your gamer tag?
I don't know.
I have it. I know I can invite you to play it. I have it.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
I definitely want you to play with us because last night, we had so much fun. It was fun playing with Hebot because it's better that way. I played it by myself and I had fun, but when I was playing with Hebot, it was fun to have somebody in there. Yeah, it was fun. I loved it, man. So yeah, we're going to definitely get you in there and gear. So I'm going to tell. We might play tonight, Dea. So if we play tonight, if you're not,
let's try to work out and see how we're going to join up.
Okay.
As soon as we get off here, so I'll know how we're going to do it.
Cool. All right. So on that note, man, thanks everybody for coming. I'm going to shout out everybody real quick in the chat because I did not get to shout out everybody that came and joined us today on the podcast. It was great to have our first lady at chat here, the first lady of Xbox, Dea 4568. It was really good to have her here, talking gaming, man. And brother T Reaper and DJ Tuckmaster has been on fire. Shouts out to Unlimited Productions and the Unlimited Truth, and shouts out to E-Rock, the Don King of Xbox, with the Exile podcast. We'll be coming back soon with another one, probably a Christmas special. I got to talk to E-Rock about that, but we're gonna maybe have a Christmas special either before or after. So we're gonna definitely do that with Dea if she can come and join everybody, Zinc, everybody, Hebot, a nice big old Christmas Xbox podcast on Exile. That will be fantastic, man. So I want to give a shout out to a lot of people came in. Oh, that's what's up, man. So we got yeah. Oh yeah, I'm glad. I'm so glad. So we had our brother, what's his name? Is it Bob what? Bob MCPE? I can't say. I know it's Bob.
You said it starts with Bob?
It's BOBMCPE.
I'm looking. There was so many people. 100 was here.
100.
Gaming since the 80s, and it was a lot of people.
Simmons TV. Wilkin.
I'm not seeing that Bob person. Hold on. Let me scroll all the way up.
Yeah, you got to go. Oh, there was a lot of people.
Oh, I see Bob MCP. I think it's Bob McP or something like that. Maybe, how do you say that? That's what it looks like to me, anyway.
I can't say it there. I just say MC
McP. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. So big shouts out to him. They said gaming since 1980. Wilkin was in here. We had Craig Simmons TV, Anthony Chipmunk, which is a great fella. We have T Reaper in the chat that was chomping up with Game with Everybody. Google poll. Also, always great to have Google poll here, man. A very good, knowledgeable brother in gaming, man. Rain G4 is crazy ass, man. Rain in the house, man. Who else we have in here? Toolman 55. Great to see him.
Did you say Craig Simmons? Did you mention him? Okay.
Craig Simmons TV.
Louis Frag.
Louis Frag was in here. Who else we got there?
Dr. Vaca.
Graphic God. Flip the script. Flip Money was in here. 100.
Whoop kid.
Yeah. Box. Thanks for coming, brother. Yeah, Flip Money. Yep. And then
Wilkin,
we had Wilkin.
There's a lot of people through here.
Dave Cohen. He's another great guy. I think he's a PC and Xbox dude. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Dave's a good dude. I like Dave, man. He's a really good dude. And like you said, Graphic God that did our gamer picks, he was in here. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for coming. And we cannot forget about our honorable brother, Smitty Smith. Was in the house. Smitty Smith, man, it's always good to see you, my good brother. Thank you for supporting me and supporting us as Xbox Eccentric Channels Unlimited, E-Rock, me, and Hebot, man, and even our brother DJ Tuckmaster. Thank you very much, 100. I really appreciate you, man. Our brother, Jerry Lewis Marathon Sega Forever. Thank you.
Xbox All In, please subscribe to him so you can see the marathon that we're talking about. Those are really great shows.
Yes, they are.
They cover a lot of different topics, though.
Yes, they are. Thank you for joining us, brother Sega Forever, man. And we're going to get him on. Maybe we'll try to get him on the Christmas special on E-Rock's on the Exile podcast. That would be nice.
Yep.
Oh, Hebot just sent me a message. He says, "Sorry, my brother, my phone died."
Oh, okay. Well, tell him we heading off anyway, so it's okay.
We're heading off anyway, brother Hebot. I know you can hear me, man, but let's do our outro. So, brother T Reaper, man, thanks for coming again, man, and being part of the podcast. You know, you're a permanent member of the podcast, so it's always good to have you with us, my man. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at Instagram at OtoTReaper8989. You can find me on Twitter at TReaper8989. And I am also on Facebook, and I'm also on Xbox Live. And I shouted my gamer tag in the chat with everybody.
Nice.
So everybody add me, and I'll play Halo or COD with you, and we'll chop stuff up.
Yeah, add T Reaper
Halo too. He's an excellent Halo player.
Oh, yes, he is. So, guys, add T Reaper. He's good, man. He can help you out too. You need some help? I'm guarantee you, T will help you out, man, in those games, brother. So, now, Dea, before we close out, you always have last thoughts and people to go away with something that you always say at the end of our podcast. So, is there anything you would like to say, Dea, before we leave?
I just want to leave everybody with this. I usually like to do this when, since we're almost in December, this is a good time to say this, but look at the wonderful year we've had as Xbox gamers. I mean, I can't go down the list enough to tell you guys how great Game Pass was, how many great first parties we had, and even the ones that fell short, like Redfall. I enjoyed that so much that I can't wait for the next content for it. So this has been a year that's been hard for me to keep up, and I hope that gaming has been the same for you. Next year is going to be even more wonderful. So just look at it this way: no matter who comes out with whatever negative news against Xbox and the box you play on, the games you love, the developers you like to support, just look at it from this perspective that right now Xbox is doing everything they can humanly possible to make your gaming experience great. And regardless of what you see out there, it's the flailings of people who are losing their console while ours is growing. So yes. I just say that enjoy gaming and the rest of this year, but look forward now to the next year, because it's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait to start the new year with you guys, and we start talking about what acquisition is next, what game is going to be next, how is Hellblade going to be, and so that's going to be some fun talks to have. So look forward to the future and look back at the past from where we came from.
Yes, thank you, Dave, very, very much. And Sega Forever said, I'm going to do a PlayStation tax video. On that note, Dave,
a tax video, okay. Oof.
Yeah, he's clowning. He's clowning. So on that note, Dave, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can usually find me around our group, Sega Man, Sega Forever. Who else does it? E-Rock had a podcast, but whenever he does it, I'll join that. Yeah. Unlimited Production. He usually does recordings, but if he ever does one where he's hosting people, I'll be with that. And just usually I circle our group, and I'm usually in the chat room, and that's where you guys can find me.
Yes. Yeah, he usually does We Got Next when he has when he has time. It's hard for him to really do that podcast because of how busy he is, but when he does it, we'll make sure to definitely get you on We Got Next when he does it, because when he does it really good. It takes a while, but when we do that podcast, man, it's a good great old time. So big shouts out to brother Hebot.
Yep.
And we're gonna
And
get out of here.
Tuck, I forgot Tuck. Yeah, but he does a solo podcast. And,
Tuck, yeah, the Lion's Den.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Tuck, man, I think he had to go because I think he has to go to work tonight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So good having you, Tuck, brother. You know, brother, we always support you, brother. It was good having you on, man. Can't wait to do the next one with you guys. But we're gonna get out of here, guys. So remember, guys, we're always eating good over here on the Xbox side, man. It's time to celebrate. We had great games coming, like Dea said. I believe they're still gonna be buying more studios, and Xbox just keeps soaring. And they're going up. They're going up the ladder, man. They're back on top, and I don't think they're ever going to fall again, man. I really don't believe it. I think Xbox is going to stay on top of gaming, man. So, guys, we're out of here. Have a great week coming up. Until then, we'll see you again probably next weekend, and we'll have our holiday Christmas podcast when I got to talk to E-Rock about it. But come and join us then. I'll be giving away probably a couple of Xbox gift cards. All right, guys. So
nice. Yeah.
So be safe, guys. Enjoy your Xbox, man, and we'll see you later.
Bye.